nighttime, anytime.
Way to be strong, man.
You'll know it when you hear it. Talk 650 KSTE.
Radio station. Talk 650 KSTE. Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. This is Sacramento Rivercats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. The Sacramento Rivercats, 2003 Pacific Coast League champion and AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's. It's now time for the Heineken On Deck Show. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Here now is the voice of the Rivercats, Johnny Dosco.
Well, hi, everybody. We're at Raley Field in West Sacramento. Rivercats baseball is on the air. The Rivercats taking on the Salt Lake Stingers, the Pacific Coast League AAA affiliate of the Anaheim Angels, and it is a hot Salt Lake team. Salt Lake 10-2 coming in. Rivercats find themselves with a 5-7 record, 3.5 games off the pace of the Pacific Coast League South Division. The Rivercats with an exciting win last night as they scored one in the fifth. Or excuse me, they were down by a score of 5-0. Scored one in the fifth, 4 in the sixth to tie it, and then Edmonton scoring 1 in the seventh. The Rivercats scoring 2 in the eighth to win 7-6. But they got a 2-out, 2-run double by Johnson, a 2-out, 2-run triple by Rose, and finally in the eighth, a 2-out, 2-run home run from Tom Wilson, and a come-from-behind victory, a sweet win, down 5-0 to win by a final score of 7-6. And now you're 5-7 instead of being 4-8, and you feel a little bit better about yourself going into this 4-game set against a mighty tough Salt Lake team who is 2 games up on Edmonton. Edmonton 8-4 now with the loss to the Rivercats last night. Our guest on the Heineken On Deck Show, before we get into the Painting Corners pitching matchups, we'll talk with first baseman Graham Kuntz. He's been ready to get back in that lineup for a while, and here we are in Game 13. He had the back spasms, and in the first game against Colorado, and he is ready to go. And we'll chat with Graham after this. It's on Talk 650 KSTE.
Out.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
This is Sacramento Rivercats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
Back here at Raley Field in West Sacramento, we are going to give you the Painting the Corners pitching matchups for today's game, presented by Frazee Paint and Wall Covering, the official paint company of the Rivercats. It'll be Jason Middlebrook for the Salt Lake Stingers. Jason Middlebrook making his third start of the season as he has worked 10 innings, allowed 9 hits. He's allowed 4 earned runs, issued 2 walks, and struck out 6. He pitched very well against the Rivercats on the 15th of April. 6 innings of 3-hit baseball, allowed 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. He had a 1-hitter through 5 1/3 innings, so very sharp. The Salt Lake would blow the lead, though, for him as Rivercats would score 3 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th as they would eventually lose 8-7, but Middlebrook had a no decision in that ballgame. He'll be opposed by left-hander John Reinecker. Reinecker 0-1, ERA of 10.57, making his third appearance in his second start. 7 2/3 innings, 16 hits. He's allowed 9 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Ready to get on track in this ball game tonight. That's our Painting the Corners pitching matchups presented by Frazee Paint and Wall Covering. When it's time to paint, visit the Frazee location nearest you. Well, our guest on the Heineken On Deck Show is none other than Graham Kuntz, and here is that interview from earlier today. Welcome back to the Heineken On Deck Show as we are getting ready for Game 1 of this 4-game set. The Rivercats taking on the Salt Lake Stingers, the Anaheim Angel AAA affiliate here in the PCL, and we're talking with first baseman Graham Kuntz. And Cooter, I know you're hankering to get back out there. You had some back spasms. You were ready to go, really, you thought, in Game 5, but Walt, for precautionary measures, wanted to keep you out. How you feeling now, bud?
I feel real good. You know, couple weeks of rehab and extensive rehab at that. Spending about 3 hours a day just strictly on my back. You know, I feel ready. Like you said, I'm hankering to go.
You know, you talk about taking batting practice, and you've been taking BP the last couple of days, and from the looks of things and watching in the cage, of course, everybody stops what they're doing when they watch take BP, but what are you feeling like you are about 100% now?
Yes, completely 100%. You know, they wanted to see how it was taking full batting practice for a couple of days in a row and see how my back responded to that, and you know, I felt great today, and you know, I'm ready.
Let's take you through your year last year, because beginning of the year, I mean, the first couple of weeks, it was a bit of a struggle. I thought you got hot in Salt Lake. I thought that was where you got hot and you got some momentum and you went on to win the Pacific Coast League Most Valuable Player and the championship. What a thrill it was, the championship season. But it was fun to watch your progression last year. Talk about the progression last year that you had, the slow start and then getting it rolling.
Yeah, the slow start, that was tough. I never had a start to a season like that before. Just seemed like every time I went up there I was 0-2. And, I put myself in a hole early in the season. And like you said, went to Salt Lake and got some things rolling, came back here, worked with Roy White, and, we started incorporating a few different things, just approach-wise. We incorporated a little bit of branch bow, and, things started to roll for me. We started to get going.
It's funny, you talk about your power in batting practice. You make no bones about it. You're like, singles hitter, they work on things in BP. They work on taking the pitch to left field, taking the pitch to center, taking the pitch to right. You said, I'm a home run hitter. Why not work on hitting the ball out of the ballpark? And you have no apologies for that.
No, absolutely none. I feel if you want to do anything, you have to practice at it. And I don't want my home runs to be a mistake. I want my home runs to be what I want to do. And just like you said, if you're a leadoff hitter, number 2 hitter, you're going to work on putting the ball in play, maybe bunting a lot, and I'm going to work on getting good trajectory and hitting home runs.
They say winning is an important part of development. How special was that championship last year? And people may scoff at that and say, in AAA, nobody really cares about winning. But I disagree with that. I think that people do care. And from the looks of the players last year, and you can't really fake that. Talk about that championship last year.
No, the guys last year were awesome. Everybody came here every day with the idea that we're going to win. Everybody wanted to do their own part as far as, putting themselves in a good position to go to the big leagues, but they knew what it was to sacrifice yourself for the team. And, every time we had a situation to do something in the game to bust it wide open or maybe to get an insurance run, nobody had any problems giving themselves up for an out, for a run, or, and that's what it takes, and that team last year was unbelievable with that. It was a lot of fun.
Take you through the getting called up last year, and talk about that experience. Talk about your first major league hit and the nerves up there. Your first game.
Oh, it was crazy. It was something I'd been dreaming of since I was a little kid, and nothing could have prepared me for it. I felt like the 9 years I spent in minor league baseball, I really appreciated where I was when I got called up, and the fact of just sitting in the dugout and watching these guys play, watching Rafael Palmeiro, watching these guys that I've been growing up watching and really trying to emulate my game after, and just to be there, just to be in the dugout that first night and watching everything, that by far was a dream come true, and like I said, nothing could have prepared me for it.
And now a little bit more of a sense of belonging when you do go to the big leagues the next time around because you have been there. How important was that experience?
Well, that was the biggest thing, was to get there and actually see that I belong there. Was to stand shoulder to shoulder with these guys and take batting practice and take ground balls and actually watch a game with the intent of me knowing that I could be in there, and seeing that those guys didn't have anything that I couldn't do or any skills that I didn't feel like I had, So it was a big confidence booster and definitely, refueled me to try to get there again.
Graham, it was an interesting spring training because you had heard all the rumors that you were going to this team and that team, heard it going to the Dodgers, and meanwhile they pick up Karros in the offseason, so you have Hatterberg, Durazo, and Karros, and there's kind of a logjam at first base. So a little bit of an emotional roller coaster as far as spring training was concerned, but you had to keep your head and understand you're playing for 30 teams, right?
Exactly. I knew the situation going in wasn't, it was pretty bleak for me as far as making Oakland out of spring training. But, like you said, there's other teams out there that are going to be interested in me. And, I just had to keep a level head and know that what I do is for all those other guys to see. And, try not to get down. I've had that same approach my whole career, really no expectations, and, that's the way I approach the game, and no matter what situation I'm in, all I can do is worry about myself and what I can do to, put myself in a good situation.
That's Graham Kuntz, our guest. We'll chat more with the Rivercat first baseman after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
But Talk 650 KSTE presents
The Talk 650 Connection.
a safe way for singles to meet. Whether you're looking for a relationship or just want to have fun, you can choose from thousands of people like yourself.
Call 1-866-544-9229.
You'll be directed through personal ads and mailboxes to people with similar values and interests.
You'll meet only the people who interest you.
1-866-544-9229.
To open a free mailbox and hear voice ads from other singles.
1-866-544-9229.
For the Talk 650 Connection.
A member of the Telechat Network.
Nobody's talking
Like Talk 650. Armstrong and Getty.
This is a good topic, too. I'm glad you called.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, what's on your mind? Lorraine, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Are you?
You called us.
Okay, all right.
Good Lord. Off to a fast start today.
About your boil, get some boilies and sit in some hot water.
Armstrong and Getty.
You'll be fine.
Little boilies and sit in some hot water.
Yeah.
There you go.
Early mornings on the talk station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Good tip.
Okay, roll it.
There's a streak in all of us. You know what I'm saying? They're like shock dogs. Don't you understand?
Michael says.
Afternoons at home. I feel good. I'm giddy from it.
On Talk 650 KSTE. Talk with Armstrong and Getty, Michael Savage, Dr. Laura, and Glenn Beck.
Talk to us about the things that matter to you most. Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host. Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props. Doesn't matter because the conversation never stops. Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking.
I guess my concern is that
On the talk station, Talk 650. Talk 650.
Talk to us.
KSTE. The talk station. Talk 650 KSTE. Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, back here at Raley Field in West Sacramento, getting ready for the first game of a 4-game set. The River Cats taking on the Anaheim Angel affiliate, the Salt Lake Stingers. And here is the second part of our interview with Graham Kuntz. Welcome back to the second part of our interview with first baseman Graham Kuntz, and here we go. You've been waiting for this. We're in game 13 right now. The River Cats with an exciting win yesterday, getting two out big hits, a 2-out 2-run double, a 2-out 2-run triple, and then Wilson with a 2-out 2-run homer. Before we get into your excitement about playing today, talk about that game last night.
Well, that was fun to watch. Just kind of reminded me a little bit of last year, the team last year, just the way, we battled all game and really didn't get any opportunities early on, but later in the game definitely capitalized on some chances.
Now, is this Christmas Day for you? Does this feel like Christmas Day a little bit, just the fact that you're getting to play again, where you've been hankering for this for a while?
Pretty much, put my spikes back on and grab my game glove and a couple bats. That's exciting. I'm ready.
Oh, you took some hacks today? You took some swings in the cage today?
No.
You didn't at all?
No, not yet. I'm getting ready to here in a little bit.
You're looking forward to that. Now, talk about this team. I know it's a different makeup, a little bit younger than last year's team. I guess, do you feel like you're taking a little bit more of a veteran role in this team?
I think a little bit. It's the first time I've been on a team like this where I was actually probably, quite a bit older than most of the guys. But I feel like a little bit, not really a vocal leader, but maybe just by example.
That's the way it's always been for you. You've been more of an example guy than more of a vocal guy, right?
Right. I've never been a guy to get up on the top step and yell and scream or get in somebody's face. But I feel just leading by example, I think, says a little bit more.
Just from seeing the club so far, do you like the makeup of this club, the 04 club?
I do. Just their attitude and their exuberance and the way they go out and play the game. They go out and play hard and they scrap, and we got a lot of speed this year, and guys are going to go out and run through walls for us.
Before we let you go, talk about your wife Aubrey. She is such a huge influence on you, and you guys have an amazing relationship just in watching you guys together. Talk about her. Just talk about Aubrey a little bit.
Oh, she's been great. Especially during this time, it's been tough for the both of us being on the DL and not being able to go to the park and play every night. And she's been a rock for me. She's been going with me every day to therapy and huge support in what I do. And this is my second year of marriage to her. Last year, my first year, and I should have done it a long time ago with the numbers I put up.
Therapy went well for you, and it was one of those things where you just had to be patient with that therapy, right?
Right, and that was the key. And having Aubrey there to spend some time with, a little bit extra time, and it was great. We just hung out and took it easy when I wasn't at therapy, and when we were there, she basically was by my side the whole time, so that was really cool.
Okay, somebody who is extremely happy to have you back is a guy by the name of Michael Lockwood, and he was kind of a fish out of water without you, so he's pretty pleased you're back.
Yeah, he's pretty much had a smile on his face the whole time since I've been here. It's nice to get back in the locker room and get talking with the guys. Mike Edwards, Lockwood. Those guys, we had a tight bond last year. It's nice to get back into the flow of things.
All right, the River Cats coming off the championship, and I don't know where you'll end up this year, how long you'll be with the River Cats, but good luck the rest of the way, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dosky.
Okay. Graham Coots, our guest. We'll have more right after this.
Hey, this is Bobby here.
Hi, this is Frank Gorshin. I'm the Riddler from Batman.
Gee, Wally, I gotta get going on account of the Armstrong and Getty show is on.
Prominently featured on the Armstrong and Getty show.
This is Al Leroy's Grandpa Munster.
It's our A-list of B-list celebrities.
This is Johnny Cochran. If they don't entertain, you must abstain. From the Armstrong and Getty Show.
Hi, this is Chelsea Charms.
This is Bill Walton. Hi, I'm William Shatner.
Armstrong and Getty. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSCE.
This station is proud to offer its listeners the ability to listen to this broadcast via the Internet. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the stream. We'll be right back. Streaming media provided by LiquidCompass.net.
Borders, language, and culture.
He's not new to big-time talk radio.
When they say to me, what do you really believe in with the poor of your society and your show?
But he's taking over the nation.
Borders, language, and culture. They say, what does that mean?
The voice you can't ignore.
The Savage Nation.
And I tell them, close the borders.
Get rid of the illegal alien.
Make English the official language.
There's no assimilation here.
And recognize that the commonalities of our culture are what holds us together.
Michael Savage. The Savage Nation. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSCE. Talk 650. This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSCE.
All right, friends, back at Raley Field. That will wrap up the Heineken On Deck show. We're getting very close to game time. Keep it here. We'll have the starting lineups in the first pitch right after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
You've been listening to the Heineken On Deck show. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Stay tuned. Starting lineups and the first pitch is next.
I really love being controlled by others.
Michael Savage.
It's one of the things I really specialize in, is having people with lower IQs than I telling me what to do, especially when I go to the bathroom.
Follows Dr. Lord.
I have like a criminal's personality in many ways. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a bad person. I don't like to be told what to do. I have a very rebellious streak since birth.
Savage, get it.
Doctor I'd like to kill who pulled me out, yanked me by the head. And ever since then,
weekdays 4 to 7.
I've been fighting with the world.
On Talk 650 KSCE. This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSCE. The Sacramento River Cats, 2003 Pacific Coast League champions and AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's. River Cat baseball is brought to you by Raley's in Bel Air. The market's famous for fine meats and produce. Miller Genuine Draft, genuine flavor. Cold filtered smooth. Miller. Good call. SBC. Going beyond the call. The Golden One. California's leading credit union. Chevron. No gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron. And by Sacramento Coca-Cola. Proud to be a founding corporate partner of the Sacramento River Cats. Here now is the voice of the River Cats, Johnny Dosco.
We're at Raley Field, everybody. Nice to have you with us. River Cats baseball is on the air. The River Cats take on the Salt Lake Stingers, the Pacific Coast League AAA affiliate of the Anaheim Angels. The River Cats losing 3 out of 4 to Salt Lake in Salt Lake City last week. And the River Cats trying to take 3 out of 4, maybe even sweep the Salt Lake Stingers in this series. The River Cats 5-7 coming in. And they are 3.5 games off the pace. Tucson and Tacoma postponed last night. So the River Cats gaining a half game on the Tucson Sidewinders. Tucson 8-3. Las Vegas and Sacramento 5-7. Fresno really struggling. They're 7.5 back and 1-11 on the year. Meanwhile, Salt Lake, the best record in the PCL, they are 10-2. 2 games in front of Edmonton. They are 3.5 up on Tacoma. Tacoma 6-5. Portland 4-8, and 6 games off the pace in the PCL North. Starting lineups for the Salt Lake Stingers first. Adam Riggs will lead things off. He's the designated hitter. It'll be Alfredo Amazing at bat second. He's the shortstop. Rob Quinlan is the first baseman. He's in the 3 slot. It will be Alex Pelaez to bat 4th. He's playing third base. Barry Wesson, the former Astro product, he is batting 5th, and he's in center field. Brian Gordon will bat 6th. He's in right field. Derek Gibson is the left fielder. He's batting 7th. It'll be Tom Gregorio to bat 8th and do the catching. And Brian Specht is the second baseman, and he is batting 9. For the River Cats, the Pacific Coast League AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's, Frank Menachino continuing his rehab stint in his 4th game with Sacramento. He's leading things off. He's the designated hitter. He played second base. He looked pretty sharp yesterday. We had 4 at-bats. He actually had a line drive in the 3rd inning right at his Torres, the second baseman, and ended up with a base hit in that 7th inning. So Menachino making his 4th start. He had 2 hits the game before that and a base hit in his first game here. So he's had a hit in all 3 games that he has played in, and actually looking a little quicker each day. So Menachino getting back to full strength. Leading things off, he is the designated hitter. Nick Swisher is batting second. He's in center field. It'll be Mike Edwards to bat third. He's at third base. Graham Cooch is in that cleanup spot. He's at first base. Dan Johnson is batting fifth, and he is in left field. Mike Rose doing the catching and batting sixth. Mike Lockwood is in the seventh slot. He's in right field. Ramon Castro is the shortstop batting eighth. And Francis Gomez, he's batting ninth, and he is playing second base. So Graham Coots making his return. And I'll tell you, he is hankering to get back in there, and he has been really since the back spasms that he unfortunately got in that game against the Colorado Rockies on the 4th of April. So it's been over 2 weeks. And Graham Coots has been ready to go. He's ready to roll here and getting his first game back. He took some cuts today. He taken batting practice the last couple of days, so he's ready to roll. And here we go. So John Reinecker, the left-hander, who has struggled in the early going. He'll face Riggs, Amaziga, and Quinlan. This is a very good Salt Lake team. I mean, with all the free agent signings that the Anaheim Angels had, Marty Moreno signing guys like Vladimir Guerrero and Jose Guillen and Bartolo Colon and Kelvin Escobar. Well, the good part for Salt Lake is that a lot of those guys that maybe might be in the big leagues now are with the AAA clubs. Guys like Adam Riggs, Alfredo Amaziga, guys like Rob Quinlan. So this is a very good Salt Lake team. And you see they won 10 of their first 12 games. So this should be a very tough series. Rivercats getting their big gun Graham Coots back. A pretty good 3-4-5 punch of Edwards, Coots, and Johnson. And they're ready to roll. Here is Adam Riggs, the designated hitter, to face the left-hander John Reinecker. Nice to have you with us on this Tuesday. Rivercats splitting with Edmonton. An improbable split after it looked like they were destined to lose 3 out of 4. But a great come-from-behind win last night. First pitch from Reinecker. Fastball in there for a strike, and we're underway. The count's 0-1. Adam Riggs, right-handed hitter, hitting .286, a homer and 3 driven in. Outfield straight away. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That swung on and promptly stroked into left field for a base hit. So a base hit for Adam Riggs to lead things off, and then they'll bring up the shortstop, Alfredo Amaziga. We'll set the Rivercats for you defensively. Defensive alignment brought to you by Noble Way Pest Control. Don't let bugs and rodents drive you away. Call the Knights of the Noble Way at 916-344-5220. That's 916-344-5220. Graham Coots at first base. He's holding on Adam Riggs. Francis Gomez is the second baseman, with Ramon Castro at short and Mike Edwards at third. First pitch to Amaziga, taken at the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1. Alfredo, a switch hitter, batting from the right side. A little bit of a slow start for the shortstop for Salt Lake. Mike Brumley coaching at third base. And Jim Ephardt over at first as the lefty. Reinecker's pitch, breaking ball, a beauty. Amaziga checks his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Brian Knight. And the count is 0-2. It's Mike Lockwood in right field, Nick Swisher in center, Dan Johnson in left. Doing the catching, Mike Rose, and on the hill, the left-hander, John Reinecker. Reinecker from the third base side of the rubber comes set. Now he goes over to first. Keep an eye on Adam Riggs. Joe Judkowitz, the home plate umpire. Brian Knight at first. Todd Titchener at third. Good crowd on hand on this Tuesday. There's a left-hander. Reinecker looks over at first. Now the 0-2 pitch. That swung a little flare into right center. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Riggs with good speed, rounding second. He'll get to third, and they're in business early. Runners on first and third for Salt Lake with nobody out. All right, now we'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. So here's Quinlan, who is hitting .326 with a homer and 9 driven in. Yeah, Reinecker pitched against the Salt Lake Stingers 5 days ago on the 15th of April. Was not sharp. 4 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 7 runs all earned. He issued 1 walk and struck out 4. Able to get out of some jams in the 4th and 5th, but struggled in the first inning. I mean, Salt Lake had 6 runs in the first inning against John Reinecker. It took till the 8th hitter in the lineup to get the second out of the inning. So Rob Quinlan, right-handed batter. The Salt Lake Stingers wearing the gray uniforms with the red sleeves, red letters and numbers. River Cats wearing the white jerseys with the black sleeves. Is the fastball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Middle infield, Castro and Gomez in double play depth. Mesa takes his lead from first, and Adam Riggs from third. As John Reinecker comes set, now the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses low and inside. It's 1-1. But for every River Cats win in April, Chevron is donating $500 to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation, and River Cats have won 5 games already, so that means $2,500. Chevron has donated to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. Left-hander comes set. And the 1-1 pitch. That swung on a bounce down to short, might be 2. Castro will feed Gomez on to Kuntz, and it is in time for the double play. So they get the 6-4-3 double play, but a run scores. It's 1-0 Salt Lake. But you'll take the 2 outs. Do not give Quinlan an RBI, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Alex Pelaez. So here's Pelaez. Alex hitting .378 on the year, no homers and 8 driven in. So Reinecker getting a big 6-4-3 double play. Pelaez, a right-handed hitter. Here's a pitch. That's taken for a strike on the inside edge. It's 0-1. Morrissey has kind of a sore hamstring right now, so he's out. He's day-to-day as Pelaez fouls one away, and it's quickly 0-2 on Pelaez. Well, Chevron, no gasoline, cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron. 0-2 the count on Alex Pelaez. As Reinecker, the leg kick and the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1-1-2. Game number 13 on the year for the River Cats, starting off 5-7. Outfield straight away on Alex Pelaez, a good hitter, former Padre product, Alex Pelaez. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses a little high as Pelaez checks his swing. Did he go? No swing, says Brian Knight. And it's 2-2 on Pelaez. Yeah, Salt Lake swept Fresno. Fresno is hosting Edmonton tonight as the pitch. That swung on, bounced down the third base line. Fair ball, base hit past Edwards. Going to get in the corner is Dan Johnson. Pelaez rounding first. He's into second base with a stand-up double. So that's the third hit off of John Reinecker and the 15th off of Reinecker in the 2 games against Salt Lake. And here is Barry Wesson, the center fielder. Barry Wesson really was the reason Salt Lake won that game against Reinecker 5 days ago, because he hit the 3-run homer on that breaking ball in the first inning, which gave Salt Lake a 6-0 lead. Wesson hitting .237, a homer and 7 driven in. He had a slow start, pitch taken high, and it's 1-0. Wesson was hitting .105 going into that game against the River Cats on the 15th. He went 3 for 3 with 2 walks. 1-0 the count. 1-0 Stingers, top half of the first. As John Reinecker comes set in the 1-0 pitch. That's taken outside. Didn't miss by much. It's now 2-0. River Cats, after 12 games last year, were 7-5. Pelaez takes his lead from second. And the left-hander's 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball, just misses. Ball 3-0. So 3-0 on Barry Wesson. A little taste of the big leagues with the Astros. He also had some big league time with the Anaheim Angels last year. He is from Mississippi. The 3-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike at the knees. It's 3-1. Now, last night, Joe Blanton working just 5 innings. Wayne Gomes came in to pitch the 6th. And I'll tell you, a key part of that game was Gomes getting that 6-4-3 double play ball on Brandon Watson, who has good speed, as the 3-1 taken on the inside corner for strike 2, now 3-2. Already 17 pitches for the left-hander John Reinecker. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Pelaez takes his lead from second, as Reinecker looks in to get a sign from Mike Rose. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's taken low. Ball 4. He just missed with it. So Reinecker issues his first walk. And the Salt Lake Stingers have runners on first and second with 2 outs. And that will bring up the right fielder, Brian Gordon. Here's Gordon. Gordon hitting .209. No homers and 4 driven in. Reinecker from the third base side of the rubber looks in. Lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. That fastball misses inside. Ball 1, 1-0. Top of the first, 1-0 Salt Lake. Center fielder Swisher shaded a little bit towards left center. As Reinecker comes set. Another 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, a beauty in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. The River Cats team ERA right now at 4.27. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That swung on and popped up foul to our right. And that will go short of one of the suites and go in amongst the crowd. And it's 1-2. Now 1-2 on Brian Gordon. Wesson from first, Pelaez from second. John Reinecker out of Southwest Missouri State looks in. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That's chased and missed. Down he goes. So he strikes out Gordon to get out of it cheaply enough. 1 run, 3 hits, a walk, 2 left. We're through half an inning. Salt Lake 1. The River Cats coming up. We'll at the bottom of the first after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE. Welcome to the program.
Therapy's expensive.
My husband and I have some friends. We've had them for about 6 years.
Dr. Laura?
My question is regarding, I'm trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing for a 20-year-old.
Free.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've got a problem with my neighbor.
Dr. Laura.
4 years ago, the wife divorced the husband.
But how do I say it without...
Find your own words,
Afternoons.
My question is...
Right before 7.
You're here to teach him.
On Talk 650.
You're his dad.
KSTE. This is Sacramento River Cats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, bottom of the first, it'll be Frank Menachino, Nick Swisher, and Mike Edwards to face the right-hander Jason Middlebrook. And Middlebrook, no record ERA of 3.60, making his third start, 10 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs. He's issued 2 walks. He struck out 6. And opponents hitting .231 against him. So Jason Middlebrook getting the call here. He pitched very well against the River Cats 5 days ago. And here's Menachino in that rehab stint, 4 for 11 with the River Cats hitting .364. He takes low. It's 1-0. 1-0 Salt Lake, bottom of the first. Glad you're with us here on Talk 650. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's swung on and bounced out of the shortstop. Charging is Amazga. Gloves it on the one hop. Throws over to first in time, and there is one away. The routine play on one hop to Alfredo Amazga. That'll bring up the center fielder, Nick Swisher. Swisher hitting .300 now with a couple of home runs. He's driven in 8. Nick was 2 for 3 in the ball game last night. He had a solo homer, which got the Rivercats on the board. Made it a 5-1 game. Jason Middlebrook, in his 8th year of professional baseball, he came up with the Padres and finally got to the big leagues with San Diego in 2001. He had 4 appearances and 3 starts. Middlebrook out of a windup, and the pitch to Swisher in that 2 slot is taken for a strike on the outside edge, an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-2. Quickly 0-2 on Nick Swisher. We're in the bottom of the first, 1-0 Salt Lake. Swisher, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Middlebrook, 28 years old, to be 29 in June. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, misses low and inside. It's 1-2. Middlebrook stares in. 6'3", 215-pounder. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That fastball misses inside. It's now 2-2 on Swisher. Swisher with that dramatic 2-out, 3-run double against Salt Lake in the game 5 days ago. There's a 2-2 pitch. That's taken inside. It's now 3-2. You know, it was Swisher's first game with the Rivercats. And Nick was 0 for 3 with a walk going into that 9th inning, dramatic double. But he was 0 for 2 against Middlebrook, 2 flyouts to left fielder Riggs. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That's swung on and fouled to our left and out of play. It's off the edge of one of the suites and amongst the crowd. Now remains at 3-2 on Swisher. We'll set the Salt Lake Stingers for you defensively. The sharp away uniforms for Salt Lake. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside, ball 4. So Swisher walks. With 1 out in the first. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Mike Edwards. All right, Rob Quinlan is at first base. Brian Specht at second. The shortstop is Alfredo Amazga. And at third base is Alex Pelaez with Derek Gibson in left, Gary Wesson in center, and Brian Gordon in right. Tom Gregorio is doing the catching, and on the hill, the right-hander, Jason Middlebrook. Well, here's Edwards. Mike hitting .238, no homers, and 3 driven in. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball that misses. Ball 1, 1-0. Yeah, it's one of those funny things. The Rivercats got 3, I said 2 in the Heineken on deck, but 3 2-out clutch hits. And Edwards didn't get any of them. And that's a surprising one. Edwards, we know, and how often, as the pitch just misses outside, it's now 2-0, how often he comes through in those situations. But it wasn't Edwards last night. Last night it was Wilson with a 2-out, 2-run homer, Rose with a 2-out, 2-run triple, and Johnson with a 2-out, 2-run double. Right-hander looks in. Swisher, pretty good lead over there. As the 2-0 pitch, that's swung on. A fly ball to right field. Going back for it is Gordon. He's near the track. He's on the track. He reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2, and Swisher will return to first. So Edwards just misses it, 2 down. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Graham Kuntz. There's Graham Kuntz in his first at-bat of the regular season. Oh, has he been ready to roll? So Kuntz, who hit a home run in the game against Colorado. Graham was 2 for 5. Hit that home run in the 8th inning, a 2-run job. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Salt Lake. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that misses outside. 1-0. The most valuable player in this league last year, Graham Kuntz. Now, what a year he had. 34 homers, 115 RBIs. Led the league in home runs and RBIs. Yeah, the A's losing a tough game last night in 14 innings on a Justin Dukeshire balk. A's losing to Seattle 2-1. Graham Kuntz setting all sorts of River Cat records last year as the pitch. Changeup a beauty. Chased and missed. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's the thing. When you've been out of the lineup for a while, they say it's not really fastballs that takes getting used to. It's all the off-speed stuff that you face. Seeing live pitching for the first time. Swisher being held on by Quinlan. As the right-hander's 1-1 pitch. That's taken inside. I think Middlebrook's not missing by much. It's now 2-1. Game number 13 on the year for Sacramento, trying to win their 6th. Yeah, Kuntz became the second River Cat player in 4 years to win the MVP. Jose Ortiz won it in 2000. Fastball, a good pitch on the inside corner, and it's 2-2. Middlebrook so far hitting his spots. 2-2 the count on Graham Kuntz. Kuntz with that trademark slightly open stance, waving that bat back and forth from the left side. As Swisher takes his lead. 2-2 the count. Middlebrook, the right-hander, the high set. Now the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. That's chopped foul toward the Salt Lake dugout. On the first base side, and the count remains at 2-2. River Cats will have 11 more games against Salt Lake after this one. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's chopped foul again. Same spot. This time it goes into the Salt Lake dugout. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Originally, Kuntz, a 60th round pick of the June '93 draft. Released by the Tigers in March of '97. It was 2 years of independent ball, Tri-City, and then '98 in Chico. 2-2 pitch. That misses low. It's 3-2. So Swisher will be off on this pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Signed by the Padres in December of '98. And then Rule 5 by the A's from the Padres, December of '01. They're shading him to pull. Obviously, the runner goes. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and popped up foul out of play. Getting to Lucas Gregorio, but that will be rolling amongst the crowd. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Middlebrook has thrown 20 pitches here in the first inning. Amazing, just about straight up the middle. Third baseman Pelaez about 30 feet off the line, and about 18 feet behind the bag. And second baseman Speck playing well to pull. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, fastball, bounced on 2 offs to the second baseman Speck. They had him played perfectly, and Brian throws him out. The inning is over. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. We're through an inning. Salt Lake 1, and the River Cats nothing. We'll have the top of the second after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Sacramento's Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk to us about the things that matter to you most.
I just have a question about what do you do in a case like that?
What is that that's inside that man that knows that?
Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host.
And he gave this pick mean smirk.
Yeah.
Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props.
This is the greatest thing I've seen. I look at life differently.
Doesn't matter because the conversation never stops.
You know, have a reason to put a gun on him.
Talk to us.
Armstrong and Getty.
I think they're still handling it with kid gloves and kind of brushing underneath the carpet.
Michael Savage.
Michael, what really happened on September 11th?
Talk to us.
And even Dr. Laura.
And it made me so sick, and I just thought, you know, what a jerk. You know?
I don't understand. Is he blind?
I guess my concern is that...
Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking on the talk station. Talk 650 KSTE. To Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats baseball is brought to you by Subway sandwiches. Subway, eat fresh. Tickets.com, the better way to get you to the action. And by Sutter Health, community-based, not-for-profit.
Derek Gibson will lead things off for the Salt Lake Stingers. It'll be Gibson, Gregorio, and Specht. 7, 8, and 9 to face the lefty John Reinecker. Reinecker able to get out of that first inning cheaply enough, just allowing the one run. Here's big Derek Gibson. Gibson 6'3", 240-pounder. Hitting 071 in the early going, 1 for his first 13. As the first pitch from Reinecker, a fastball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, that swung on line down the left field line. It's hooking foul onto the foul ball patio. And it's quickly 0-2 on Derek Gibson. They're playing him to pull. Castro well over on the left side. Edwards very close to the line. 0-2 the count. Tomorrow night, game 2 of this 4-game set. As the 0-2 pitch. That swung on and popped up foul down the left field line. Going out of play. The count remains at 0-2. Yeah, tomorrow, Chris Buchek will go against Steve Woodard. Here's a pitch. That swung on and missed. It gets away from the catcher Rose, but has plenty of time to throw to first to complete the strikeout. So one away in the second. Second strikeout for Reinecker. And that will bring up the catcher, Tom Gregorio. Chris Buchek, who's from Indiana, but went to Auburn. So you have Buchek, who went to Auburn, and you have Steve Woodard, who is from Alabama. A little Alabama battle tomorrow as the pitch from the left-hander. That's taken low. It's 1-0 on Gregorio. Gregorio hitting .214, a homer and 3 driven in. 1-0 Salt Lake. We're in the top of the second from beautiful Raley Field. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Off speed of beauty. Chased and missed. It's 1-1. That's the thing, like Hillius, Reinecker has had trouble in the first inning. Remember Eric Hillius, the last couple of years of the River Cats, had trouble with that first inning and then would settle down. The 1-1 misses inside. It's 2-1. Well, Reinecker is wearing the old number of Eric Hillius, wearing number 37. He has had trouble in the first inning as well in the past, but he seems to settle down quite nicely himself. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off speed. That swung on and bounced on 2 outs to Coots. The first, they're calling it a foul ball. Just foul outside that first base bag. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Tom Gregorio. Well, if you want your home to look picture perfect, visit the experts at any of the greater Sacramento Frazee paint and wall covering locations. You'll find quality paint, expert advice, and old-fashioned service. 2-2 the count on Tom Gregorio. Reinecker stares in. And the left-hander's 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, got it looking. Great pitch. And that's the third strikeout for John Reinecker. Third consecutive strikeout for Reinecker. Here's Brian Specht, the second baseman.
Second baseman, number 11, Brian Specht.
Here's Brian Specht. Specht had an inside-the-park home run against Mike Wood on the 13th of April, exactly a week ago. Even with the bag at third is Edwards a few feet off the line. The fastball taken for a strike, 0-1. Now Reinecker, fun to watch when he gets in that good rhythm. Works very quickly, throws strikes. Specht, right-handed hitting second baseman, choking up on the bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses low. It's 1-1. Yeah, Specht with 2 home runs, one of them an inside-the-park job, as we said, and he has great speed. 1-1 the count as Reinecker's 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. It's 1-2. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Salt Lake. 1 run, 3 hits for the Stingers. No runs, no hits for the River Cats. Another good crowd on hand here at Raley Field. Tickets available for tomorrow night's game. Boot check and Woodard. 7:05 start. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, chased and missed. Down he goes. He strikes out the side. 4 consecutive strikeouts for John Reinecker. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We are through an inning and a half. Salt Lake 1, Sacramento nothing. We'll have the bottom of the second after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Your place to talk with Armstrong and Getty. Dr. Laura, Michael Sapp, and George Norrie late nights.
Talk 650 KSTE.
The Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Fellas, how you doing?
Up antenna.
Hi, you guys.
Switch on.
Love your show.
Easy to work.
Armstrong and Getty.
Press talk button and broadcast from room to room.
Live from Studio C in the morning.
And even house to house.
Why don't you get a cork or something? It's really good for your butt muscles. You know why I have such a nice ass? From years of clamping hard down tight.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Early mornings on the Talk Station.
Talk 650
KSTE.
is Sacramento River Cats baseball
On Talk 650 KSTE.
Here to the bottom of the second. It's a 1-0 Salt Lake lead. It will be Dan Johnson, followed by Mike Rose, and then Mike Lockwood, numbers 5, 6, and 7, to face the right-hander Jason Middlebrook. Dan Johnson hitting Joe Jackson like 356 on the year. 5 homers and 17 driven in. Right-hander Middlebrook takes a deep breath as he goes out of a windup in the first pitch. That's a fastball taken for a strike on the outside edge at the knees. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's swung on and lifted to left center. Moving over for it is Wesson, so is Gibson. It'll be Barry Wesson to make the catch a couple of feet from the warning track in left center. And there is one away. So one down in the second. That'll bring up the catcher, Mike Rose. Getting 318 on the year, no homers and 6 driven in. Came through with that big 2-run triple that tied up the baseball game last night. Good feeling for Mike Rose. I mean, getting the opportunity to play every day. And last year, at the beginning of the year, remember, he was hurt at the start of the year, and even when he got healthy, he still wasn't playing every day. So it's so nice for him to go to the ballpark knowing, for the most part, he's going to be in the lineup. Here's a line drive base hit into right field, wasting no time. The River Cats have their first hit of the contest. And that will bring up the right fielder, Mike Lockwood. Well, fans, beginning April the 26th, you can enter at participating Subway locations to win one of 2 great Subway Series road trips. You go on a road trip to the AAA All-Star Game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, or a trip to Portland to watch the River Cats play the Portland Beavers. And the trips include airfare, hotel, car rental, and $500 in spending money. Subway, eat fresh. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Salt Lake. Here's Mike Lockwood. Lockwood hitting 161 on the year. The first pitch misses high. It's 1-0. Right-hander Middlebrook looks in as Rose takes his lead, being held on by Quinlan. And the pitch, there's a slider that misses low. It's now 2-0. River Cats got a 1-out walk to Swisher in the first. He was stranded there. A 1-out single from Rose. See if Lockwood can't come up with a base hit here. The middle infield is in double play depth in the pitch. Fastball taken a little high. Ball 3-0. Second baseman Specht playing very close to the second base bag. So a huge hole on the right side. As Rose takes his lead, the 3-0 pitch taken high and away. Ball 4. He lost him. So the River Cats have runners on first and second with 1 out for the shortstop, Ramon Castro. Castro hitting .229 on the year, no homers and 2 driven in. We're in the bottom of the second inning of a 1-0 ball game. Salt Lake leads it. Lockwood at first, Rose at second. As Middlebrook high set in the pitch. That's a fastball right down the middle for a strike. It's 0-1. I'd like to wish a happy 40th birthday to Bob Heeman today. So Bob Heeman, Executive Vice President of the Sacramento River Cats, as the 0-1 pitch misses inside to Castro, and it's 1-1. His wife Holly and beautiful daughter Natalie, they are celebrating Bob Heeman's 40th birthday today. Co-founder of River City Baseball, River City Sports and Entertainment, Warren Smith in 97. So happy birthday to Bob. So right-hander comes set. Lockwood and Rose take their leads in the pitch. That fastball misses outside. It's 2-1. So 2-1 on Castro. Tony DeFrancesco shouting some encouragement near the third base coaching box. 2 on, 1 out, 1-0 Salt Lake. Outfield is straight away. As Lockwood and Rose take their leads, now Castro calls time. You know, Castro's a good defensive shortstop. He has been a little bit out of rhythm of late over there, but actually very good defensively over there. Right-hander comes set, the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike on the outside corner. It's 2-2. So tomorrow night it's Butchek and Woodard. Thursday night, Delvin James against Mike Ziegler. And Friday night, in the conclusion of the 4-game set, Steve Green against Mike Wood. Middlebrook bent over at the waist, looks in to get a sign, and now steps off the rubber. He's going to take a little walk. We're in the bottom of the second, 1-0 Stingers. Best start in Salt Lake history, winning 10 of their first 12 ball games. Lockwood and Rose take their leads. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That misses low with a fastball, 3-2. I think with Middlebrook missing, he is not missing by much. He does not quite get in the call. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Runners take their leads. And the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. That's nub foul toward the River Cat dugout on the third base side. And we'll try it again. Count remains at 3-2. River Cats be home through Friday. Hope to see you at the ballpark. Middlebrook looks in. Lockwood and Rose take their leads. And finally, more confusion now as Gregorio going out there. You see that a lot of times in the early part of the game with the run around second base, trying to change up the signs. And Gregorio, trying to avoid confusion and trying to get on the same page as Middlebrook, goes out there to settle down the right-hander and get things cleared. The 3-2 the count on Castro. Castro 0 for 2 with a walk in the ball game last night. As the runners go, the pitch inside, the throw down to third doesn't matter because it's a walk. So Castro walks and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Francis Gomez. So Gomez there with the bases loaded and 1 out. Gomez still looking for his first River Cat hit. That's 3 walks issued by Middlebrook. So the River Cats threatening here in the bottom half of the second inning. Middlebrook looks in as Castro, Lockwood, and Rose take their leads in the pitch. Fastball on the outside edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Gomez took over for Menachino last night. Did not have an at-bat, but took over at second base. He was in the 8th slot 2 nights ago. Was 0 for 4. He struck out 3 times. Gomez now steps out of the box, now back into the right side of the batter's box. Gomez from La Ramona, Dominican Republic. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, that's bounced on 2 offs outside third and foul. Fielded by Pelias. He will flip it into the first row. And it's now a no ball and 2 strike count on Francis Gomez. Middlebrook looks into his catcher, Tom Gregorio. As Castro, Lockwood, and Rose take their leads, the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice stop by Gregorio. It's now 1-2. Well, the Roseville Auto Mall is a proud sponsor of your Rivercats, home to over 8,000 new and used vehicles. 16 dealers, 21 brands, 1 location. Eureka Road off I-80. We know what drives you. Here's the pitch. That's one. Line drive. Foul down the left field line. Oh, is that close? That might have been 3 RBIs for the young second baseman. 1-2 the count on Francis Gomez. That's the best cut he has had this year. He was kind of greeted with a series of breaking pitches in that game 2 nights ago. And that was all Song, Johnson, and Beltran threw to him. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, misses high. They throw down to third base, and Mike Rose is out at third. Oh, no. So Gregorio, a beautiful throw down to Pelias, and Rose thrown out 2-5. Heads up play by Gregorio, and Mike Rose out at third base.
Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento.
Outs. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Francis Gomez. I tell you, give Gregorio credit on that one. He threw a snap throw to Pelias. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball chased and missed. Down he goes. So Middlebrook, with the bases loaded and 1 out, gets out of it. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, and 2 left. We're through 2. Salt Lake 1, the Rivercats nothing. Back from the top of the third after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE. There's really nothing else like him on the radio anywhere. He's Michael Savage. This is a talk show you're going to want to listen to every afternoon, 4 to 7. Only on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento Rivercats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, top of the third inning we go. It's a 1-0 ball game. The Stingers lead it. 1 run, 3 hits for Salt Lake. No runs, 1 hit for the Rivercats. Adam Riggs will lead things off against Reinecker. Riggs, Amaziga, and Quinlan is the first pitch taken for a strike. It's 0-1. So great job by Middlebrook. He was helped out by his battery mate Tom Gregorio, who threw a strike down to Pelias, and Rose was thrown out at third base. The 0-1 pitch. That's one. Line drive. Fair ball. Base hit down the left field line. Rounding first base, Riggs. He'll dig for 2. Over to get into the corner is Dan Johnson. It's a double for Riggs. So Riggs picks up his second hit of the night as Alfredo Amaziga, the shortstop, will be the batter. That's the 4th hit off Reinecker. And Amaziga, I mean, this is Alfredo's specialty here. Run around second base, nobody out. handles the bat very well. And we'll see if he uses a bunt to move over Riggs or if he just punches them on the right side. But this is Alfredo's game here. 1-0 Stingers from the top half of the third inning. As the left-hander Reinecker checks second and the pitch. That's swung on and hit foul on the first base side. 3 rows beyond the dugout of Salt Lake. Nice catch from a fan. It's 0-1. Damn, you have to give Gregorio credit and Pelaez credit, as Rose, who's on third base, could not get back in time. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball low and inside. Nice stop from Rose. It's 1-1. But the River Cats with a golden opportunity in that second inning, and those are opportunities you cannot squander against a team like Salt Lake, who won 10 of their first 12 games. Into the grass at third is Edwards. Kuntz just about even with the bag at first, and about 15 feet off the line as Reinecker comes set, and the lefty's 1-1 pitch. Here's a bunt up along first, a good bunt. It'll do the job. Kuntz makes the play and tags out Amezaga, and taking third base is Riggs. So if you're Salt Lake, you have the perfect guy to do that. And it's 3 unassisted on the sacrifices. Riggs takes third, and Rob Quinlan, the first baseman, will be the batter. So man on third with 1 out. Here's Quinlan. Rob bounced into a 6-4-3 double play in the first. He's 0 for 1. The infield comes in. Kuntz, Gomez, Castro, and Edwards all in as Reinecker comes set. And the pitch to Quinlan. Fastball misses outside. It's 1-0. Well, time for neighborhood trivia. Presented by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We'll get to it after this pitch as the lefty, John Reinecker, comes set and the 1-0 pitch. That's taken low and away. It's 2-0. Well, what Yankee holds the major league record for RBIs in a season by a left-handed batter? What Yankee holds the major league record for RBIs in a season by a left-handed hitter? Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's taken low. It's now 3-0. So 3-0 on Quinlan. We'll have the answer in the bottom half of this inning. Bottom half of the inning, it'll be Menachino, Swisher, and Edwards for the River Cats. River Cats trail 1-0 here in the third. As Riggs takes his lead from third, now the 3-0 pitch taken high, ball 4. He lost him. So John issues his second walk of the ball game. And that will bring up the third baseman, Alex Pelaez.
Third baseman, number 26, Alex Pelaez.
So here's Pelaez with runners on first and third and 1 out. Pelaez doubled in the first inning. He was stranded at second base. Outfield straight away as Quinlan and Riggs take their leads. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that misses high. It's 1-0. So Reinecker, he struck out 4 consecutive hitters between Gordon, Gibson, Gregorio, and Specht. But Salt Lake threatening again here in the third after scoring 1 run in the first. Reinecker looks in to get a sign and taking too much time as Pelaez steps out. Mike Brumley, I should say, whispering something in the ear of Adam Riggs, who's at third base. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's swung on, line drive, left center, base hit. Johnson over to cut it off. In to score is Riggs. Quinlan will try to go to third. The throw to third, not in time. And it's now 2-0 Salt Lake. Johnson almost overran it, so he had to barehand it in left center. But it's an RBI single for Pelaez, and the River Cats now trail 2-0. And that'll bring up Barry West in the center field. A great piece of base running by Quinlan to get to third base on that single with the play in front of him. Now Rick Rodriguez will go out there and try to settle down John Reinecker. So it's a 2-0 Salt Lake lead. And the center fielder, Barry Wesson, will be the hitter. Well, River Cat fans, for 20 years, Java City has been our favorite hometown coffee company. Based here in Sacramento, they hand roast daily the finest, freshest coffees using a unique time signature roasting process. So discover the delicious flavor of Java City fine coffees and espresso specialty beverages at any of their Sacramento locations and all Raley's and Bel Air stores. Java City, a proud partner of your Sacramento River Cats. So Barry Wesson is the hitter. Wesson walked in the first inning, one of 2 walks that Reinecker has issued. It's a 2-0 Salt Lake lead here in the third. Pelaez at first, Quinlan at third. The lefty looks over at first in the pitch. Fastball taken for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Rivercats would like to rest that bullpen. Gomes worked 3 innings yesterday. Pote worked 3 innings the day before, and Ron Flores worked 2 innings 2 nights ago. Left-hander, a sidestep move. It's low and dug out by Coots, and back in safely Alex Pelaez. Many folks, many kids enjoying the grassy berm area down the right field line. Reinecker comes set, and the lefty to the plate. Here's the pitch. That swung out and bounced up the middle. Might be 2. Gomez will field it. He'll go to Castro for 1. On to first, double play. Nicely done. A 4-6-3 double play. And once again, Reinecker gets out of it cheaply enough. 1 run, 2 hits, a walk, and 1 left. We're through 2.5. Salt Lake 2, and the Rivercats nothing. We'll have the bottom of the third after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
How do they talk about it?
Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael Savage.
You're all afraid of your children.
The voice you can't ignore.
If the kid comes on with baggy jeans, burn them.
The Savage Nation.
How cute. He's wearing baggy jeans. He looks like a little crack runner. And listen to the nice music he's listening to, Martha. I'm going to kill white boys and hang them by the neck. I'm going to break their back. I'm going to call a crack. I'm going to break their neck. I'm going to hit that hoe. Take that hoe and break her nose. Idiots. White punks with pimples on marijuana.
Come on. Got it yet? Michael Savage, 4 to 7 on Talk 650 KSTE. Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. Rivercats Baseball is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Think free. Bank smart. U.S. Bank's free checking now has free internet bill pay. Noble Way Pest Control. Don't let bugs and rodents drive you away. Call the Knights of the Noble Way. And by Waste Management. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Look to Waste Management.
All right, we head to the bottom of the third inning. It's a 2-0 Sacramento deficit. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Stingers. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Rivercats. And in the third inning, it'll be Frank Menachino, followed by Nick Swisher, and then Mike Edwards. So Jason Millbrook able to get out of that jam in the second, much in part to his catcher, Tom Gregorio, as the breaking ball misses, and it's 1-0 on Menachino. Frankie bounced out to the shortstop amazing in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses low and outside. It's now 2-0. 2-0 Salt Lake. Bottom half of the third. There's a 2-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike on the outside edge. 2-1. You know, even just having Menachino in the clubhouse for 4 or 5 days, it just adds so much color to the clubhouse. Some of the younger players just loving Menachino. The 2-1 pitch, that swung on a fly ball to center field. It's hit well. That's going back. He's through the track. Wesson reaches up and makes the catch at the wall. And there is one away. So Frank Menachino just missed the home run over the center field wall, but he brings Wesson, a good defensive outfielder, to the wall. One down. Here's Nick Swisher, the center fielder. Well, the answer to our State Farm neighborhood trivia question of what Yankee holds the major league record for RBIs in the season by a left-handed batter, Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. And that was neighborhood trivia brought to you by State Farm insurance agents Brian Hollister in Grass Valley and Dick Horn in South Lake Tahoe. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Here's Swisher, who walked in the first inning, as the first pitch to Nick taken low and inside. It's 1-0. Right-hander out of a windup in the 1-0 pitch. That swung on and stroked into left field for a base hit. So Nick Swisher to between Pelaez and Amaziga into left field for the single. That's the second hit for the River Cats. Great piece of hitting by Swisher going the other way. And here is Mike Edwards, the third baseman. Here's Edwards. Edwards flied out to the right fielder Gordon in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Two runs, 5 hits for Salt Lake. No runs, 2 hits for Sacramento. That's where we are in the bottom half of the third. 1 on, 1 out. Swisher takes his lead, being held on by Quinlan. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses inside. It's 1-0 on Edwards. Edwards looking down at Tony DeFrancesco near the third base coaching box. River Cats 5 and 7 coming in. And Swisher takes his lead. The right-hander's 1-0 pitch. That's taken outside. Now 2-0. Middlebrook trying not to look frustrated. He's trying not to show body language to the home plate umpire, Joe Chutkovich, but I tell you, he is not missing by a whole lot. Swisher takes his lead from first as Jason Middlebrook. The high set, the 2-0 pitch. That misses inside. It's now 3-0. Middlebrook has already walked 3 in the ball game. Swisher, not a very big lead, takes the lead, being held on by Quinlan. It's the 3-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. 3-1. Yeah, the A's losing a tough one last night. We said a balk by Justin Dukeshire. Here's the pitch. That swung on, hit in right field for a base hit. Rounding second base, Swisher. He'll hold there as Gordon gets it in. So the River Cats now have first and second with 1 out for Graham Kuntz. Edwards. There's an old joke that Mike Edwards was born, and as soon as he was born, the first words out of his mouth were, "Take 2 and hit to right." And Mike Edwards, a sharp single the other way to right. Here's Graham Kuntz, who bounced out to the second baseman Specht in the first. Here's the pitch to Kuntz. Breaking ball taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Tom Gregorio goes out there to chat with the right-hander Middlebrook. They say, be careful with this guy. 0-1 the count on Kuntz. 2-0 Sacramento trailing in this game. We're in the bottom half of the third. Salt Lake took 3 out of 4 in Salt Lake last week at Franklin Covey Field. Yeah, the game last night between the A's and Mariners lasted almost 5 hours. 4 hours and 47 minutes. Edwards from first, Swisher from second. And now Middlebrook steps off. Kuntz, big left-handed hitter. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That swung on and popped up. The third baseman, Pelaez, in foul territory near the coaching box under it and makes the catch, and there are 2 away. So 5F if you're scoring with us, 2 down. That'll bring up the left fielder, Dan Johnson. Yeah, Dukeshire was the A's 5th pitcher of the night. Yeah, the umpire called the balk on Dukeshire. He said the pitcher didn't step to third base before throwing to first. That old fake to third and throw to first. Dukeshire saying he didn't think he balked. Right-hander comes set. Now the pitch. That's taken low, and it's 1-0 on the left-hand hitting Johnson. 2-0 Salt Lake, bottom half of the third. Right-hander high set, and the 1-0 pitch. That swung on, a fly ball right field, towering fly ball down the right field line. Gordon, Specht, and Quinlan. It will be Brian Gordon, the right fielder, to call for it and make the catch, and the inning is over. So first and second, 1 out. River Cats cannot score. They strand 2 more. They've stranded 5 in the game. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We're through 3. Salt Lake 2, Sacramento nothing. We'll have the top of the 4th when we return on Talk 650 KST.
Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE. Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE. Back to school, we take you for those good old lessons of social engineering with your tutor, Dr. Laura.
Don't blame it all on me.
Your resource for all your domestic management needs.
It's not simplistic, it's clarity.
And don't forget the household tips.
Catch more flies with honey.
Yeah, I know, I've heard that one.
It's homespun fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I don't want to be held accountable for that.
Your daily dose of higher learning.
Hope you're taking notes, Teresa.
The Dr. Laura Show, Monday through Saturday, 9 till noon on Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Brian Gordon will lead things off for the Salt Lake Stingers. It'll be Gordon, followed by Gibson, and then Tom Gregorio against John Reinecker. He trails 2-0 as the first pitch is swung on. A fly ball to left center, hit pretty well. Johnson going back. It's going to go over his head, and it will one-hop the base of the wall in the deepest part of left center. Rounding second base is Gordon. He'll take the turn and hold there with a double. So a double for Gordon, and that is the third double and the sixth hit off John Reinecker. And a good piece in by Gordon taking that pitch the other way. Here is Derek Gibson, the left fielder. That ball just carried, and no chance for Dan Johnson in left field. It short hopped the wall out there with a Les Schwab tire sign. And here's Gibson, who struck out swinging in the second inning. The left-hander Reinecker comes set in the pitch. That swung on and bounced up the middle. Tough play to the shortstop. Castro makes the play to his left. The long throw to first and gets him. And there's one away. So 6-3 on the putout. Good play. That play seemed like it was in slow motion there. Castro making that play to his left, and they just did get Gibson by half a step. And that'll bring up the catcher, Tom Gregorio. So here's Gregorio, who struck out looking in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. 2-0 Salt Lake. We're in the top half of the fourth inning. Reinecker from the third base side of the rubber looks in. And the pitch. That's fouled back to the screen. It's 0-1. 0-1 on Tom Gregorio. Reinecker has 4 strikeouts in the early going. At the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Rose, Lockwood, and Castro. Rivercats have stranded 5 men on base already in this ball game. As Reinecker comes set, he checks second. And the lefty's 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Gregorio had a home run off Wood in that game on the 13th. He hit the 2-run homer, then spected the inside the park home run. But he had a great pitch. I mean, it was a low inside sinking fastball, and Gregorio golfed it out. The 0-2 pitch, fastball misses low and away, and it's 1-2. Wow, did the Rivercats need that win last night? I mean, trailing 5-0. And the Rivercats hoping now it's kind of a momentum swinger for the early part of this season. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Off speed, bounced on one hop to the third baseman Edwards. He's up with it, throws across the diamond in time, and there are 2 away. Holding at second base is Gordon. That's a big out. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Specht.
Second baseman, number 11, Brian Specht.
Here's Specht. Specht struck out swinging in the second inning, 0 for 1. 2 runs, 6 hits. No errors for the Stingers. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Rivercats. Johnny Doska with you. Kevin Kelly, our engineer. Rivercats are 2-2 here at Raley Field this year. 3-5 on the road. The left-hander Reinecker is pitch. Breaking ball. Good pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Rivercats will head on the road Saturday to Las Vegas for 4, an off day on Wednesday, and then 4 in Tucson before coming home on the 3rd of May to begin an 8-game homestand against Fresno in Las Vegas. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball. That's chopped foul outside third and down the line. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes on Brian Specht. Brian Specht, a non-roster invitee this year, is just 23 years old. Born and raised, still resides in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He's played in Arkansas the last 3 years. The 0-2 pitch. That hits him, got him in the foot. I believe so, or maybe it did not get him in the foot. And it gets away from the catcher, Rose, going to third base. They're calling it a ball and a walk, and now Reinecker confused on why that wasn't called a hit batsman. Excuse me, that's 1-2 on Specht. And it's just a ball and a wild pitch charged to Reinecker. I was confused there, too. I thought that it had hit Specht, but the umpire said it missed Specht's foot. So it was just a wild pitch, a runner on third with 2 outs. And it's 1-2 on Specht. Specht hit .253 last year with Arkansas. And as John Reinecker, the left-hander, comes set. Now the 1-2 pitch. Fastball bounced onto the third baseman Edwards. Up with it on the third hop. Throws across the diamond in time, and the inning is over. Go a little high, but Graham Cooch, with his 6'4" frame, able to reach up and make the play. 5-3 on the putout. No runs. Hit a man left. We're through 3.5. Salt Lake 2 in the Rivercats nothing. We'll have the bottom of the fourth after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
I love it.
You'll know it when you hear it. Sacramento's Talk Station.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
This is Sacramento Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
Rivercats will send up Rose, Lockwood, and Castro here in the fourth inning. 2 runs, 6 hits for Salt Lake. No runs, 3 hits for the Rivercats. That game last night between Oakland and Seattle, I mean, both starting pitchers pitched extremely well. Redmond, 8 innings of 4-hit baseball, allowed 1 run. He struck out 4. Freddie Garcia, 7 shutout innings, allowing 3 hits. And the relievers did an outstanding job as well. Eddie Guardado trying to close it out, though, and he allowed the home run to Jermaine Dye. The A's losing in 14 innings to Seattle, 2-1. Breaking ball, chased and missed from Rose, and it's 0-1. Rose, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He singled in the second. Rose has hit in 9 of his first 12 ball games. 9 of the 12 games, I should say. Or excuse me, 10 of 13, I should say. The 0-1 pitch. That's an off-speed pitch that misses away, and it's 1-1. Rose already 4 multi-hit games for the Rivercats. 1-1 pitch. That's taken inside. It's 2-1. So Rose not only has 15 hits on the year, which is second on the club, but he also has walked 15 times. 2-1 the count. He is hitting with a lot of confidence right now. 2-1 the count is the right-hander. Looks, you can just see it in him. I mean, it's just a completely different Mike Rose. Not that he was lacking confidence last year. He's a different player. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses low and inside. It's 3-1. His whole demeanor, I mean, just watching him at the plate. And part of it is, as we said earlier, the fact that he knows he's going to be in the lineup just about every day. It's the 3-1 pitch. That swung on, foul back to the screen. It's 3-2. He's shortened up his stroke. He feels he has a much better approach this year than he has in years past. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's Middlebrook's 3-2 pitch. That's swung on, a fly ball to right center. Getting a late start was Gordon, and he will still be able to make the running catch in right center for out number 1. So 1 down to the 4th, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Mike Lockwood. Lockwood walked in the 2nd, 161 on the year, no homers, 3 driven in. We're at the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Salt Lake. As Middlebrook looks in to get a sign of the right-hander's pitch. That's taken low. It's 1-0 on Lockwood. Well, the Golden One Credit Union, California's leading credit union, is proud to bring you this date in baseball history. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Lockwood. That's taken high with a fastball. It's 2-0, 90 miles an hour with that fastball from Middlebrook. This date in 1912, after 2 days of rain, the first game ever, is finally played at Fenway Park. This date in 1912. 2-0 pitch. That's taken inside. It's 3-0. Also on this day in 1912 in Detroit, the Tigers played their first game at Tiger Stadium, beating the Indians 6-5. Here's a 3-0 pitch to Lockwood. That's taken for a strike on the outside edge. Now 3-1. There's a 3-1 pitch. That's swung on and fouled to our left. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Ohio State's Mike Lockwood. This date, 1982, with a 4-2 win over the Reds, the Braves record their 12th consecutive victory and establish a Major League record for the most victories from the beginning of the season. That's swung on and lined to the right center for a base hit. Over to cut it off, Barry Wesson. Lockwood will take the turn and hold there with a single. So Lockwood, a sharp single to right center for the Rivercats. That is their 4th hit. And that will bring up Ramon Castro at the shortstop. Yes, so the Braves 12 consecutive wins to establish that big league record for the most victories from the start of the season. Previous mark was set a year earlier by the Oakland A's in 81. This date in baseball history brought to you by the Golden One Credit Union, the official credit union partner of the Sacramento Rivercats. Castro walked in the 2nd. Represents the tying run up there here in the 4th as the pitch from Middlebrook. That's swung on and lifted to shallow right field. Going out spec, coming in Gordon. It'll be Brian Gordon, the right fielder, to make the catch, and there are 2 away. So Gordon's been busy out there. 4 putouts for Gordon. Castro swinging right away, and here's Francis Gomez, the second baseman. Gomez struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. The only strikeout victim for Jason Middlebrook. Well, Silver Legacy Resort Casino in Reno presents the comedy of Ron White. That'll be April 24th. For tickets, call 1-800-MUST-SEE or visit silverlegacy.com. Lockwood from first. As the right-hander comes set, and he'll go over to first to check on Mike Lockwood. Lockwood back in safely. But the Rivercats with another base runner, and they've had at least one base runner on in each of the first 4 innings now. Lockwood takes his lead. The right-hander comes set. And the pitch. That's swung on and fouled to our right, now to play. And it's 0-1 on Francis Gomez. Hope you join us tomorrow night here at Raley Field. It's going to be the 6th game of this 8-game homestand. It will be Chris Butchek against Steve Woodard, 2 right-handers. Each will open at 6, a 7:05 start. Heineken Rivercats Idol Night. Thursday will be Crystal $1 Family Feast Night, and that'll be Delvin James and Mike Ziegler. Lockwood takes the lead. Now the pitch. Fastball misses low. It's 1-1 on Gomez. Rivercats have just had a horrible time leaving men on base so far in the early part of this season. Lockwood from first, being held on by Quinlan. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball that misses outside. Again, didn't miss by much. It's now 2-1. Lockwood takes his lead once again. The outfield straight away on Francis Gomez. Gomez was with King County last year as the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. There were times on breaking pitches where Gomez really, most of the time, there's no way I'd throw Gomez a fastball. I mean, until he can prove he can hit that breaking pitch. That's what Edmonton did to Gomez a couple of days ago. They were just throwing nothing but breaking stuff. As Lockwood takes his lead. And Middlebrook to the plate, the 2-2 pitch. And the breaking ball that misses low and away, and it's 3-2. So Mike Lockwood will be off on this pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. We're in the 4th inning of a 2-0 baseball game. The Stingers lead it from beautiful Raley Field. Lockwood from first. He goes. The 3-2 pitch. That's swung on and lifted to shallow center field. Going out of Mesa, coming in is Wesson. It will be Barry Wesson to make the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. We're through 4 complete. Salt Lake 2 and the River Cats nothing. We'll have the top half of the 5th after this on Talk 650 KST.
The world is a dangerous place.
There are several trains that have been exploded to bits.
And it just got a lot more dangerous.
A nation can survive its fools,
Michael Savage.
but it cannot survive treason from within.
He'll help you make sense of it all.
The traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to the victims, and he wears their face in their arguments.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
Jack Armstrong and Joe Getty inviting you to start your day with the Armstrong and Getty Show.
Unlike anything you've ever heard before, and not in a good way.
We kid, it's good. It's the issues that really matter to you.
Jobs, dating, sex, TV, marriage, kids, money, society, and those rotten, stinking, thieving politicians.
But we don't take any of the above very seriously, including ourselves.
Tune in for a laugh
on Talk 650 KSTE.
This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, we go to the top of the 5th. It is a 2-0 Salt Lake lead. Johnny Doska with you. Kevin Kelly, our engineer. Kevin Kelly doing an outstanding job. And all the engineers, a great job this year. As the pitch to Riggs misses low, and the count's 1-0. Riggs singled and scored in the first. He doubled and scored in the third. Stingers with a run in the first and a run in the third. John Reinecker, his only 1-2-3 inning was the second. He struck out the side. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That swung on a drive to left field, hit well. Just looking up is Dan Johnson, and it is gone. So a solo homer for Riggs, and Salt Lake leads it 3-0. A pretty nice night for Riggs. He is 3 for 3 so far in the ball game. A single, double, and a home run. It's his second home run of the year and his 4th RBI. So the former Dodger prospect doing some damage against the River Cats, and it's 3-0 Salt Lake. For Reinecker, that is the second home run he has allowed this year. And here's Alfredo Amezaga. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0. Yeah, the other home run was to Barry Wesson in the first inning of that game 5 days ago. So 1-0 on Amezaga, a switch hitter, batting from the right side There's a 1-0 pitch. That's swung on and lifted to right center. Moving over for it is Lockwood and Swisher. It'll be Mike Lockwood, the right fielder, to make the catch, and there is one away. So one down, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan.
First baseman, number 17,
Well, the tradition continues at Merlino's Freeze, now in 5 locations throughout the Sacramento region. 3200 Folsom Boulevard, Downtown Plaza Mall, Country Club Plaza, Folsom Outlets, and Raley Field. Merlino's Freeze and Rivercats Baseball, the coolest ticket in town. Here's the pitch to Quinlan. Fastball misses outside. It's 1-0. Quinlan, right-handed batter. There's a 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball taken low. It's 2-0. Quinlan grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning. He walked in the third. Reineker's walked 2 and struck out 4. There's the pitch in there for a strike. It's now 2-1 on Quinlan. Next pitch, that's chopped foul outside third and down the line. Now 2-2. Rob Quinlan on the 40-man roster of the Angels last year in Anaheim at .287 in 38 games. 27 for 94 and no homers, drove in 4 runs. Breaking ball misses low and inside, now 3-2. His older brother Tom Quinlan played in Salt Lake. Tom Quinlan also played in the big leagues with Toronto, Philadelphia, and Minnesota. Quinlan out of the University of Minnesota. Here's a pitch. That's bounced on the left side on 2 ops. To his left is Edwards, the third baseman, makes the play, throws to first in time, and there are 2 away. So 2 down in the 5th, another ground ball out for John Reineker. That's 7 ground ball outs for the left-hander, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Alex Pelaez. So here's Pelaez, who is 2 for 2. He doubled in the first and picked up an RBI single in the third as he lifts one foul on the right side out of play. It's 0-1. 3-0 Salt Lake. We're in the top of the 5th. Reineker's 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. It's bounced down to third. Edwards has been busy over there. He scoops it up, throws across the diamond in time, and the inning is over. But the Salt Lake Stingers get another run on 1 hit. The home run by Riggs. Nobody left. We were through 4.5. Salt Lake 3. And the Rivercats nothing. We'll have the bottom half of the 5th and the top of the order. Menachino, Swisher, and Edwards after this on Talk 650 KST.
It's all talk. It's all encompassing. And it's all Savage. Weekdays at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Death metal chainsaw music. Not here, you don't. This is Sacramento's talk station.
We must follow no other course.
Talk 650 KSTE.
Sean, good morning. You realize it's front page of USA Today. All right, Michael. Well, that's exactly what I told you.
Your whole show today has been about my life.
Now listen to this.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I'd rather shoot myself.
My sweet white hiney. I agree. What Joe said. You're both crazy.
Armstrong and Getty.
Hi, guys. Love your show.
Wake up and roll, man.
You've never heard talk radio like this before.
That's the soup. I'm having the salad in a roll.
Wake up with Armstrong and Getty.
Right,
Early mornings on the talk station. Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento Rivercats Baseball
on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Frank Menachino will lead things off for the Rivercats. It'll be Menachino, Swisher, and Edwards in the 5th to face the right-hander Jason Middlebrook, who has thrown 4 shutout innings. The Rivercats have left 6 men on base so far in the ballgame. Menachino 0 for 2. He grounded out to the shortstop Amaziga in the first inning, and he flied out to the center fielder, Barry Weston, in the third. Stingers have 7 hits off Reinecker. So here's Menachino, right-handed hitter. And here's the first pitch to Frank Menachino. Fastball taken low. It's 1-0. Rivercats came back last night, trying to come back today. It's a 1-0 pitch. That swung on and bounced on 2 offs to the third baseman. Pelaez makes the play to his left, throws to first in time, and there's 1 away. So 1 down, and that will bring up Nick Swisher, the center fielder. One thing Middlebrook has done, he's been able to get that leadoff hitter. That's 5 consecutive innings that Middlebrook has retired the leadoff man of the inning. Here's Nick Swisher, who is 1 for 1. He walked in the first, and he singled in the third. Nick Swisher, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's from West Virginia. Other former Rivercats from West Virginia. Can you name a couple? Here's a pitch to Swisher. That's taken inside 1-0. Yeah, John Atkins and Chris Enix. John Atkins pitching in the big leagues with the White Sox right now, and Chris Enix in New Orleans with the AAA club of the Astros. 1-0 pitch. That swung ahead on the right side and through for a base hit. So Nick Swisher, a base hit to right, his second hit of the ball game, and that will bring up the third baseman, Mike Edwards. So the Rivercats, for the 5th consecutive inning, get a base runner. Edwards 1 for 2, and that's been easy for Middlebrook. He's allowed 5 hits. He's issued 3 walks, but he's been able to make the Rivercats strand some runners. And here's Edwards, 1 for 2, came in hitting .238. Middle infield and double play depth as the right-hander bent over at the waist looks in. Swisher takes the lead in the pitch. Fastball that misses high. It's 1-0. Stingers with 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fifth. That's where we are in the bottom of the fifth. 3-0 Salt Lake. Swisher takes the lead. There's the pitch. That swung on and popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Quinlan moving over. He has a little room. He's under it. He makes the catch. And there are 2 away. So 3F if you're scoring with us. 2 down. Here's Graham Kuntz, the first baseman. So it's been a frustrating ball game for the Rivercats. Graham Kuntz can make it a 1-run game with 1 swing of the bat. Graham 0 for 2, grounded out to the second baseman. Brian Spector, the first, popped up to Pelaez, the third baseman, in foul territory in the third. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses high. It's 1-0. Bottom of the fifth, 3-0 Salt Lake. Taking his lead at first is Swisher, being held on by Quinlan. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. It's 2-0. So 2-0 on the big left-handed hitting first baseman, Graham Kuntz. Swisher takes his lead. And the 2-0 pitch. That misses inside. Ball 3, 3-0. So he loses Kuntz. He'll face Johnson. And Johnson would represent the tying run. Middlebrook, he has battled the entire game, but he and his team lead 3-0. Shortstop Amaziga playing right up the middle. Big shift on Kuntz. The 3-0 pitch taken for a strike, 3-1. Third baseman Pelaez. I mean, he's about 45 feet, just about halfway between second and third, and 20 feet behind the line, behind the third base bag, I should say. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. A drive to right field, hit well. Going back and scoring. Does the track. He's at the wall. And goal! Kuntz, a 2-run homer. The Rivercats now trail 3-2. And here's Dan Johnson, the left fielder. So a 3-2 ball game now. And here's Johnson as the pitch is taken outside. It's 1-0. You can still hear the buzz in the crowd. A 3-2 ball game now. As the 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, it's 1-1. 3 runs, 7 hits for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 6 hits for Sacramento. Graham Kuntz, in his first game back, it's his first home run. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's taken low, and it's 2-1. Johnson, left-handed hitter. Middlebrook out of a windup in the 2-1 pitch. That's swung on and popped up. Shallow left field. Goyetta Mays coming in. Gibson. And who will it be? Derek Gibson coming up, and he makes the running catch. The left fielder makes the catch about 5 feet inside that left field foul line, and the inning is over. But the River Cats have climbed to within 1. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. Graham Kuntz, a 2-run homer. We're through 5. Salt Lake 3, the River Cats 2. We'll have the top of the 6th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE. Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore.
Get with the program.
Don't miss Michael Savage.
I love it.
Afternoons at 4.
That's right.
On Talk 650 KSTE. On Talk 650 KSTE.
Takes over in Kuntz's spot, so Graham taken out of the ball game, maybe for precautionary measures. We're not sure, but Stanley is taking over in Kuntz's spot, and Dan Johnson moves from left field to first base. So he's hoping to re-aggravate that back. You hope he's okay, but maybe just for precautionary measures. We'll find out. Don't know if we'll find out before the end of the ball game tonight, but find out before tomorrow's game for sure. So it's a 3-2 ball game. So put Stanley in the 4 slot. John Reinecker suddenly with new life. He trails by a run now as the pitch to Wesson is swung on and lifted to left center. Swisher or Stanley, it'll be Nick Swisher, the center fielder, to make the catch in left center for out number 1. So Wesson flies out to Swisher, 1 down. That'll bring up the right fielder, Brian Gordon. 3-2 the score. The Stingers lead it. 3 runs, 7 hits for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 6 hits for Sacramento. Gordon struck out in the first. He doubled in the 4th. 6 of 7 retired by Reinecker, lefty versus lefty, and the fastball hits him. So the fastball hits Brian Gordon, got him close to the ribs, and first hit batsman for Reinecker, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Derek Gibson. (3-2) Salt Lake. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. And the trainer, the Salt Lake Stingers going out there to check on him. So Reinecker, he's settled down. He did allow the home run to Riggs, but 5 ground ball outs out of 7 hitters at one point. He has 8 ground ball outs overall. Well, Kellogg Garden Products is a specific soil for every planting purpose. Kellogg, the official planting mixes of the Sacramento River Cats. Maybe the field looks too good. We're in the top of the 6th inning of a 3-2 baseball game. Salt Lake leads it. Here's Gibson. Derek 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the 2nd. He grounded out to the shortstop, Castro, in the 4th. Left-hander Reinecker looks over at first. And the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Right-hander beginning to loosen up in the bullpen for the River Cats. I believe that's Eric T-Mac loosening up. And Reinecker over to first to keep an eye on Brian Gordon. In the bottom of the 6th, it'll be Rose, Lockwood, and Castro. 6, 7, and 8. Gordon takes his leaving, held on by by Johnson rather. As the pitch This is inside. It's now 2-1 on Gibson. So it's Johnson at first, Gomez at second, Castro at short, and Edwards at third. With Stanley in left, Swisher in center, and Lockwood in right. Here's the pitch. That's taken low. Gibson, right-handed hitter. Here's a 2-1 pitch instead. A throw over to first to check on Brian Gordon. There's a right-hander loosening up in the bullpen for the Salt Lake Stingers. It's either Turnbow or Dunn. Hard to tell from here. Left-hander to the plate in the pitch. Breaking ball swung on line drive foul near the tarp down the left field line. And it's now a 2-2 count on Derek Gibson. Stingers led 1-0, then 2-0, then 3-0. It's now 3-2. Gordon takes the lead. And the lefties, 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and popped up. Shallow right center going out. Gomez coming in. Swisher coming over Lockwood. It's going to fall in for a base hit. It was in no man's land as Gomez, Swisher, and Lockwood all converging on the ball, but it fell in between them, and it's a base hit for Gibson. Going to second base, Gordon. That's a tough break for Reinecker. He made a good pitch, jammed him, and Gibson with a bloop single. And that'll bring up the catcher, Tom Gregorio. So chew on with one out. That's 8 hits off Reinecker. Gregorio 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the second, grounded out to the third baseman Edwards in the fourth. Left-hander Reinecker from the third base side of the rubber. Love to get a double play ball as he did on Wesson in the third inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses a little bit low. It's 1-0. Yeah, with that home run by Kuntz, the Rivercats now have 14 home runs on the year. As Reinecker checks second, now the pitch. That's taken for a strike. It's now 1-1. So 1-1 the count on Tom Gregorio. Yeah, with that home run, the Rivercats will keep track of it all year. Sutter Health has donated $50 more to the March of Dimes. Breaking ball, a busted back ground ball foul outside first and down the line. It's now 1-2 on Tom Gregorio. Yeah, 14 home runs, which means $700 that the March of Dimes, Sutter Health has donated to the March of Dimes to help knock out premature births. Sutter Health, community-based, not-for-profit. So $700 now with the 14 home runs. For Graham Kuntz, his first home run of the year. Gibson and Gordon take their leads. 1-2 the count on Tom Gregorio, a right-handed hitter. Gets a new bat. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses low and inside. It's now 2-2. Brian Speck, the on-deck hitter. We're at the top of the sixth inning. 3-2 Salt Lake. Good ball game. Glad you're with us here. Game 1 of a 4-game set against the Salt Lake Stingers. $7,827 the attendance. 78-27 the attendance. The left-hander checks second. Reinecker to the plate, the 2-2 pitch. That's taken inside. It just missed. 3-2. An off-speed pitch from Reinecker. It looked pretty good. Home plate umpire Joe Jutkovich said it missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Gibson at first, Gordon at second. You see it. Brumley rolls the dice and sends the runners here. The 3-2 count and 1 out. Reinecker checks second and spins around just trying to keep Gordon close. And we've only had 1-2-3 inning in this game between both teams. And that was the Reinecker second inning where he struck out Gibson, Gregorio, and Speck. Yet it has been a pretty crisp baseball game. Left-hander comes set. The runners go. The pitch is taken outside. The throw down to third doesn't matter, but it gets past the third baseman, Edwards. So a run's going to score, and it's 4-2. Gibson rounding third. He's going to try and score, and the throw to the plate on 1 up. He is out at the plate. A good throw by Edwards to the catcher, Rose. Gibson barreled over Rose, but Rose held on to the baseball. Wow, I'll tell you what. Rose, I don't know if he lost track of the count or what happened, but he had no reason to throw down that ball to third base because it was ball 4. But it's E2, give a walk to Gregorio. He gets to second base. Gordon scores on the errant throw from Mike Rose.
Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento.
5-2. And Gregorio's at second base. It's a 4-2 ball game. Here's Brian Speck with a runner on second base and 2 outs. Breaking ball taken for a strike, and the count's 1. The silver lining of that play is they got a second out, but a run had to score for that to happen. That's a shame. So 0-1 the count on Brian Speck. Yeah, Mike Rose, he really should not have even thrown the ball down to third base unless he thought it was strike 3. But that was ball 4 as the pitch misses outside, and it's now 1-1 on Speck. So it could have totally unraveled on the River Cats had Gibson been safe at the plate. Left-hander to the plate, the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. It's actually 2-1 right now. So 2-1 on Brian Speck. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Stingers. 2 runs, 6 hits for the River Cats. As the left-hander Reinecker checks second. And the 2-1 pitch. That's chased and missed on a changeup. It's now 2-2. So you know Mike Rose not happy with himself. He takes pride in not making the mental mistakes. 2-2 the count on Speck. Right-handed hitter as Reinecker checks second. And the lefty's 2-2 pitch. Off speed, bounced on 2 offs to Edwards at third. He makes the play, fires across in time, and the inning is over. So 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. We're through 5.5. Salt Lake 4 and the River Cats 2. We'll have the bottom of the 6th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Savage Nation.
Brett, you're on the Savage Nation.
How you doing? Hello?
All right, next case. You violated the rules of the show.
I am not like any other talk show host in America.
No one asks me how I'm doing. I don't say, fine, how are you? Then you say, good, glad to hear. Then
that wastes 20 seconds.
Michael Savage.
Please don't ask me how I'm doing.
Follows Dr. Lord.
A, you don't know me. B, you don't care.
C, I wouldn't tell you.
Weekdays 4 to 7 on Talk 650 KSTE. Sacramento's Talk Station. This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Scott Dunn takes over here for the Salt Lake Stingers as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Middlebrook can win it or have nothing to do with it. He cannot lose it, and that was his situation when he came out of the ball game 5 days ago. He had a big lead. It's not just a 4-2 lead, but bigger lead in his last start, and the Salt Lake Stinger relievers couldn't hold on to it. So here is Mike Rose, Mike Lockwood, and Ramon Castro to face Scott Dunn. Dunn 1-0, an ERA of 1.69, making his 5th appearance. He's worked 5 1/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 run was earned. He's issued 6 walks, and he has struck out 4. So Scott Dunn to face Mike Rose. Dunn, a hard-throwing right-hander. Rose 1 for 2. He singled in the second, flied out to the right fielder Gordon in the 4th. 4 runs, 8 hits for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the River Cats. So here's Rose. Rose singled in the second inning, and he was caught off third base by Tom Gregorio. Gregorio with a strike to the third baseman Pelaez. And they got Rose at third base. River Cats had the bases loaded. That was a big play as the pitch misses inside. It's 1-0. So we're in the bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Salt Lake. But you get the feeling the River Cats aren't quite done yet. No pun intended. As Scott Dunn to the plate, the 1-0 pitch misses high, and it's 2-0. Dunn against the River Cats. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and 1 earned run. He walked 4 and struck out 2 in his 2 appearances. There's a 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high, and the count is now 3-0 on the switch hitting row is batting from the left side. River Cats trailing by 2 in the bottom of the 6th. There's a 3-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike to the knees. It's 3-1. Beginning April 26th, you can enter at participating Subway locations to win one of 2 great Subway Series road trips. Win a road trip to the AAA All-Star Game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. There's a 3-1 pitch. That's swung on and missed. Big cut from Rose there, and it's 3-2. For a trip to Portland to watch the River Cats play the Portland Beavers. Trips include airfare, hotel, car rental, and $500 spending money. Subway, eat fresh. Dunn comes set. Now the 3-2 pitch. That's swung on. A busted back 2-hopper to the first baseman. Quinlan will make the play. He'll feed Dunn covering in time, and there is one away. So 3-1 on the put out, and that will bring up the right fielder, Mike Lockwood. There's Lockwood. Mike is 1 for 1. He walked in the 2nd, and he singled in the 4th. Stingers 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. The River Cats with 2 in the 5th. It's a 4-2 Salt Lake lead. Should go to the bottom of the 6th. Right-hander Scott Dunn comes set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0. Eric Kamak still loosening up in the bullpen for the River Cats. We'll see if Kamak comes out to pitch the top of the 7th. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That misses low and inside. It's 2-0 on Mike Lockwood. Here Graham Kuntz in the Heineken On Deck show. He was talking about the smile on Mike Lockwood's face now that he has his buddy back. The bond between Lockwood and Edwards and Kuntz pretty strong. And Lockwood very pleased to have one of his best friends, Graham Kuntz, back with the ball club. 2-0 the count. Right-hander comes set, the 2-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. It's 2-1. There's a 2-1 pitch. That's taken inside. It's now 3-1. Scott Dunn comes set, and the 3-1 pitch. That's swung on, a drive to right field. It's hooking on Gordon, long way to go. He reaches up, and Gordon makes the running catch for the out as he bangs into the wall. And that is our Merlino's Freeze defensive scoop of the game. Outstanding read by Brian Gordon, and able to make the running catch and rob Lockwood of a double. That's our Merlino's Freeze defensive scoop of the game. Baseball and Merlino's, your ticket to a cool season. Here's Ramon Castro, the shortstop. There's a pitch to Castro, a fastball taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. So quickly 0-1. Scott Dunn was a non-roster invitee this year. Came up in the Reds system, originally a 10th round pick of the Reds in the June '99 draft. Next pitch, a slider that misses low and away, and it's 1-1. Dunn, 6'3", 200-pounder, will turn 26 in May. 1-1 pitch. That's a fastball taken low, 2-1. Bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Salt Lake. Here's 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. It's now 3-1, 91 miles an hour with that fastball from Dunn. Dunn from San Antonio, Texas. Out of the University of Texas. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That's taken for strike 2 on the outside corner. It's 3-2. He was traded by the Reds to the White Sox for second baseman D'Angelo Jimenez July 6th of last year. A little time with Birmingham. There's the pitch. That misses low and away, ball 4. So Castro walks for the second time tonight, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Francis Gomez. Looks like Tom Wilson is going to hit for Gomez, though, here in the 6th. So Wilson, with his first day off of the year, and he is pinch hitting here in the 6th inning. That's the advantage of having that third catcher. You know, if Wilson was the only catcher, and of course you can use Mike Edwards behind the plate as an emergency as well, but because you have Jackson as that third catcher, in case anything happened to Wilson, you could use Jackson as the backup in case something happened to Rose. So there's those 3 catchers, Rose, Jackson, and Wilson. Now Wilson to pinch hit here in the 6th. Rivercats trailing by 2. What a towering home run that Wilson hit last night. I mean, well out of the clubhouse, well over the left field wall, and that gave the Rivercats the 7-6 lead that they would not relinquish in the night. And Wilson hit that 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning. There we go. Man on first, 2 outs, 4-2 Salt Lake here in the bottom of the 6th. And Wilson pinch hitting for Gomez. Castro takes his lead at first. Got down to the plate in the pitch. Fastball taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Tony DeFrancesco coaching a third. Adam Morrissey. That might be Matt Watson actually over there at first. Is Watson. Right-hander looks in. And Dunn over to first to keep an eye on Castro. 4-2, Salt Lake leads it. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning from Raley Field. Castro takes the lead. The right-hander's 0-1 pitch. Fastball, big swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Dunn comes set. And the 0-2 pitch. That's a fastball that's taken a little high. It's 1-2. You can tell by Dunn's body language he wanted that one just a little bit high on Tom Wilson. Castro being held on by Rob Quinlan. Middlebrook went 5 innings. He allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He issued 3 walks. He struck out 1. He threw 89 pitches. Castro from first. Wilson represents the tying run. The 1-2 pitch. That's swung on and foul, tipped at home plate. And Gregorio unable to hold on. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scott Dunn from the third base side of the rubber looks in as Ramon Castro takes his lead from first base. Outfield straight away. Castro from first, the 1-2 pitch. That's taken outside. It just missed. It's now 2-2 on Wilson. Good eye by Tom Wilson. Take that pitch. Very close pitch. Wilson climbs back into the right side of the batter's box as Castro once again takes his lead. A better sized lead now at first base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's swung on and lifted to right field. Coming up for it is Gordon. He's under it now and makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 left. We're through 6 complete. Salt Lake 4, the Rivercats 2. At the top of the 7th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
But Talk 650 KSTE. Borders, language, culture. These are his issues. Listen to Michael Savage. Afternoons 4 to 7, only on the talk station. Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE.
wire. Got to be cordless. Internet.
Are you listening?
Is it better than M-Life?
Armstrong and Getty.
I was at the phone store the other day. I'm not kidding.
Check them out.
These young college punks were looking at my phone and giggling. All the kids with their pierced nipples and their M-Life. Yeah, exactly. Go up to Jack like he's rode in on a mule. Like I'm a gold panner who came down from the hills on his mule.
Wake up with Armstrong and Getty.
Keep your hands off my mule.
Mornings on the Talk Station.
Everybody wants to pet your mule.
Talk 650. KSTE.
The enemies are at your gate, moron. They've knocked your door down. They want to burn your country to the ground. Idiot. Why don't you stand up and be a straight-up American like your grandfather was, you punk?
Michael Savage.
Shall I tell it to you another way? All these jerk-offs that I have to deal with every day. These weaklings, their minds have been warped by their socialist teacher. Why don't you just get with the program?
Don't miss Michael Savage.
You sound like a pothead skateboarder or surfer.
This afternoon at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE.
Is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Eric K-Mac takes over here for the River Cats. Our Sure West Wireless call to the bullpen. Sure West Wireless with plans starting as low as $29 a month, the lowest flat rate in town. So K-Mac takes over. And the River Cats with some defensive changes here. Wilson will stay in that 9 slot, and Wilson moves to third base. And Edwards goes from third base to short. Castro goes from short to second. So the River Cats with Johnson at first, Castro at second, Edwards at short, and Wilson at third, with Stanley in left, Swisher in center, and Lockwood in right. Rose doing the catching, and Eric K-Mac on the hill. Go to the 7th. It'll be Riggs, Amaziga, and Quinlan as K-Mac delivers high. It's 1-0. Give it the line on John Reinecker. Riggs 3 for 3 on the night as K-Mac to the plate in the 1-0 pitch. That's foul back over the screen. And the count is 1-1. Riggs a triple away from the cycle. John Reinecker, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He issued 3 walks and he struck out 4. He can lose it or have nothing to do with it. He cannot win it. Riggs a single double and home run. He scored 3 times. The 1-1 pitch that misses inside. It's 2-1. K-Mac making his 5th appearance, which is tied for tops on the club. No record ERA of exactly 1.5. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. He's issued 3 walks and struck out 4. Outfield straight away. Riggs right-handed hitter as K-Mac comes set. Now the 2-1 pitch. That's swung on, a fly ball to left field. Hit pretty well. Going back is Stanley. Stanley at the track. Stanley at the wall. And it is gone. Another home run for Riggs. And the Salt Lake Stingers lead 5-2. So Adam Riggs having quite a night as he gets his 2nd home run. He's 4 for 4. And it's now a 3-run deficit for the River Cats once again. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Alfredo Amaziga. So here's Amaziga, 1 for 2 with a sacrifice. Riggs with 4 hits in the ball game. A single, a double, and 2 home runs. And here's Amaziga. Will turn around and bat from the left side. We're in the 7th inning, 5-2 Salt Lake. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0 for K-Mac. That is the first home run he has allowed this year. And the River Cats have now allowed 5 home runs on the season. As the 1-0 pitch, that's taken for a strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1. Yeah, Reinecker, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. The 1-1 pitch misses high, 2-1. 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Salt Lake, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for Sacramento. Wilson backing up a couple of steps at third. In with the bag now, the 2-1 pitch. That's chased and missed. It's now 2-2 on Alfredo. Take a look at our home run leaderboard, brought to you by KB Home. K-Mac, hand behind his back, looks in. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That misses inside, 3-2. Calvin Pickering of Omaha leads the league in home runs with 11. Ruben Mateo, Dan Johnson, and Brad Hopp. Mateo of Nashville, Hopp with Colorado Springs, and Johnson, they have 5 home runs apiece. It's a 3-2 pitch, misses low and away, ball 4. So K-Mac loses Amaziga, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Here's Quinlan with a man on first and nobody out. Gary Matthews Jr., Santiago Perez, and Peter Zoccolillo all have 4 home runs apiece. And that is our home run leaderboard, brought to you by KB Home, welcoming more people home. At the top of the 7th, 5-2, Salt Lake. Salt Lake trying to make it 4 out of 5 against the River Cats. Quinlan looking down at the third base coach and skipper Mike Brumley. The base guy being held on by Dan Johnson. Here's the pitch. They pitch out and nothing going. And it's 1-0 on Rob Quinlan. Salt Lake trying to make it 11 of their first 13 ball games. And K-Mac to first to check on Amazing. Alfredo so far in the year with 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts. They're not running a whole lot. This team has stolen 4 bases on the year. They've been caught twice. 1-0 pitch. That misses high with the fastball. It's 2-0. Quinlan, right-handed hitter, 0 for 2 with a walk. River Cats in the 7th. We'll have Menachino, Swisher, and Edwards. Everybody gets on Stanley. 2-0 pitch. That's taken outside. Now 3-0. Well, Comcast makes it easy to enjoy some of the best high-definition premium and local broadcast programs available, like ESPN in HD. There's a 3-0 pitch. That's taken for strike 3-1. With a crystal clear high-resolution image and CD quality sound, it's a whole new way to see your world. That was then. This is Comcast. (5-2) Salt Lake, top of the 7th. Calvin Pickering having quite a start. I mean, he's slugging at a 14.57 pace right now. Runner goes. 3-1 pitch is swung on and lifted foul on the first base side out of play. It's now 3-2. So Brumley sending Amazing 3-1. You would think he'd be sending him 3-2 as well. K-Mac with 1 appearance coming into this one against Salt Lake. The runner goes and the fastball is high, ball 4. So Quinlan walks and the Salt Lake Stingers have runners on first and second with nobody out. That's 5 walks issued by River Cats pitchers. 5 walks, I should say. Here's Alex Pelaez, the third baseman. There's Pelaez. Pelaez is 2 for 3. He doubled in the first, picked up an RBI single in the third, and he bounced out to Edwards, the third baseman, in the 5th. Mike was busy over there at third base with 5 assists. Here's the pitch. Pelaez squares to Mont, pulls away and takes low. It's 1-0. It's a 5-2 Salt Lake lead in the 7th. 2 on, nobody out. Already 1 in on that Riggs home run. K-Mac checks second. And the 1-0 pitch. That's swung on a drive to left center. Hit well. Going back is Swisher. Swisher near the track, and he's under it now. He makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Amazing. Quinlan going to second. See if they're calling it an out. There should be an out. There should be an out on the transfer, because they're saying Swisher dropped the ball, but I'll tell you what, Tony DeFrancesco has a good point. That's got to be called an out. Swisher made the catch. There's no question he caught it, and they tagged, but on his transfer from glove hand to throwing hand, the ball popped loose. I can't believe that they're saying that he dropped that ball. There's no question he caught it, and DeFrancesco going out there to check on the status. They're saying that Swisher did not hold on to the baseball. So the bases are loaded with nobody out for Barry Weston. He caught it. DeFrancesco asking for an appeal, and I don't blame him. I think they missed this one. No question Swisher caught the ball, but in his transfer from glove hand to throwing hand, they're saying it's an error on Nick Swisher, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So E8, and here's Barry Wesson. Well, DeFrancesco satisfied, so the bases are loaded now for Barry Wesson, the center fielder. I missed that one. I thought he caught it, and it is transferred. The ball popped loose, but the bases are loaded now for Wesson. Here's the pitch. That's taken on the outside edge for a strike. It's 0-1. So that's the second error for the River Cats. Nick Swisher unable to hold on to that ball. And K-Mac comes set the pitch to Wesson. That's swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. That was a routine fly ball to left center. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That misses outside. It's now 1-2. So Wesson a chance to bust this game wide open as K-Mac comes set, and the 1-2 pitch. That swung on and fouled over the screen and amongst the crowd. Now remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Elias, Quinlan, and Amaziga take their lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That misses high. Ball 2, 2-2. So a 3-run lead for the Stingers. Here at the top of the 7th, they have the bases loaded with nobody out. Nobody throwing in the River Cat bullpen. K-Mac looks into Rose. And the 2-2 pitch. That's fouled back to the screen. The count remains at 2-2. So Salt Lake on quite a roll. I mean, after the win against the River Cats, that 8-7 win, River Cats won 9-1 on the 14th. They haven't lost since that 9-1 loss to the River Cats on the 14th of April. They're looking for their 6th consecutive victory here. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That swung on a drive to left field, hit well. Stanley going back, he just looks up, and it is gone. A grand slam for Barry Wesson, and Salt Lake now leads it 9-2. Holy Kadelka, grand slam for Wesson, his second home run of the year. RBIs 8, 9, 10, and 11, and we now have a 9-2 Salt Lake lead. And that's the 3rd home run of the ball game for Salt Lake. And he hit it off the edge of the clubhouse there in left center. And it's now a 9-2 game. Here's Brian Gordon, the right field. Indeed, Wesson busted the game wide open. And here's Gordon as the pitch from K-Mac. That swung on and popped up foul towards us right here. That will go in amongst the crowd. And the count is 0-1 on Gordon. Gordon struck out in the first, doubled in the 4th, hit by a pitch and scored in the 6th. 9 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Stingers, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the River Cats as K-Mac misses outside. And it's now 1-1 on Gordon. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's chop foul. Look out. Into the Salt Lake dugout. They're scattering there. Wesson and Polias and company. And Barry Wesson will flip it into the crowd. Grand slam for Wesson. He now has 7 RBIs against the River Cats. A 3-run homer and a grand slam. That 3-run homer when the River Cats were in Salt Lake. Pitch taken on the inside edge. Strike 3 called. So Gordon strikes out. First strikeout for K-Mac. 1 away. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Derek Gibson. There's Gibson, who is 1 for 3. Struck out in the 2nd, grounded out to the shortstop Castro in the 4th, and he singled in the 6th. A 5-run 7th for Salt Lake, and they lead 9-2. Here's a pitch from K-Mac. That swung on and bounced to the third baseman Wilson. Shifts to his left, scoops it up, and throws him out. Nice play. There are 2 down. So 2 outs in the 7th. That'll bring up the catcher, Tom Gregorio. Gregorio, the 8th man about here in this 7th inning. Gregorio came to the ballgame in 2:14 with a homer and 3 driven in. A right-handed hitter as K-Mac comes set in the pitch. That's taken low. It's 1-0. In the bottom of the 7th, again, it'll be Menachino, Swisher, and Edwards. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike in the outside corner. It's 1-1. When you think of paint, think of Frazee. Visit the pros at any of the 4 Sacramento area Frazee paint and wall covering locations. You'll find quality paint, expert advice, and old-fashioned service. 1-1 pitch. That's chased and missed, and it's now 1-2 on Gregorio. Left-hander Matt O'Brien beginning to loosen up in the bullpen for the River Cats. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That's swung on a miss. Down he goes. So K-Mac strikes out Gregorio, but the damage done. 5 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, an error, and nobody left. A grand slam from Weston, the big blower, through 6.5. Salt Lake 9, Sacramento 2. We'll have the bottom of the 7th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Nobody's talking. Talk 650 like Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael, I want to tell you, you are the funniest man ever.
Michael Savage.
I want to know why you're not on every radio station across America. I love you. You are so intelligent, and your mind works.
So I'm really getting into your brain.
Well, I just got married, and I don't have a job yet, and I sit and listen to you every day from 4 to 7. I come home, and I tell my husband everything you say, and sometimes I'm talking with a New York accent.
Michael Savage.
That's good. That's good.
The voice you can't ignore.
I want to be your personal promoter if you're turning our house into a Savage Nation.
Weekday afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE.
You know, radio could drive you crazy.
The Talk Station.
What is it?
Daytime, nighttime, anytime.
Way to be strong, man.
You'll know it when you hear it. Talk 650 KSTE. To Sacramento River Cats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats Baseball is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Think free. Think smart. U.S. Bank's free checking now has free internet bill pay. Noble Way Pest Control. Don't let bugs and rodents drive you away. Call the Knights of the Noble Way. And by Waste Management. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Look to Waste Management.
All right, bottom of the 7th we go. It is a 9-2 Salt Lake lead. 9 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for the River Cats. In the bottom of the 7th, it'll be the top of the order for Sacramento. Frank Menachino, followed by Nick Swisher, and then Mike Edwards. So a grand slam by Weston. We had a 5-2 game until Weston came along and hit the grand slam, and it's now 9-2. River Cats 7th inning stretch. It's brought to you by your greater Sacramento area Subway restaurants, featuring their new Atkins friendly wraps, salads, and 7 subs under 6 grams of fat. So your local Subway restaurant with a tasty detail. Subway, eat fresh. We've got 4 home runs in this game, 3 of them by the Stingers. So the River Cats a big hill to climb here. Of course, remember they were down by 6 runs going into the top of the 8th inning against this ball club 5 days ago, and they scored 3 in the 8th. They scored 3 in the 9th to tie it, only to lose 8-7. But still, they were able to tie up the ball game, down by 6 runs. Well, they trail by 7 in this game. That's the great thing about baseball, though. Time is no element. Here's Menachino, who's 0 for 3. As the pitch from Dunn, that misses low, and it's 1-0. Menachino 0 for 3, grounded out to the shortstop. Amazing on the first, flied out to Weston in center field in the 3rd. Bounced out to Pelaez at 3rd base in the 5th. There's a 1-0 pitch. That's taken low. It's 2-0. Menachino, right-handed hitter, 4 for 14 in his rehab stint with the River Cats. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike at the knees. It's 2-1. Outfield is straight away. 2-1 pitch. That's taken low and away. 3-1. Pitch. That swung on and popped up. The first baseman, Quinlan. The catcher, Gregorio. It will be Quinlan, the first baseman, in foul territory to call off Gregorio and make the catch, and there is one away. So 3-F if you're scoring with us. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Nick Swisher. Swisher. Nick is 2 for 2 with a walk. Walked in the first, singled in the third, singled and scored in the fifth. A 9-2 Sacramento deficit. Scott Dunn, the right-hander, who worked a scoreless 6, delivers, and the pitch to Swisher misses high, and it's 1-0. See if it's Matt O'Brien to come in and pitch the top of the 8th. Scott Dunn comes set. Now the 1-0 pitch. That's taken high. Ball 2-0. Well, Rivercat fans, for 20 years, Java City has been our favorite hometown coffee company. Based here in Sacramento, the hand roast daily, the finest, freshest coffees using a unique time signature roasting process. Swisher fouls one back to the screen. It's now 2-2. Discover the delicious flavor of Java City fine coffees and espresso specialty beverages at any of their Sacramento locations and all Raley's and Bel Air stores. Java City, a proud partner of your Sacramento Rivercats. Excuse me, it's a 2-1 pitch. A fastball on the outside edge for a strike. It's 2-2. And tomorrow, a 7:05 start. Chris Butchek against Steve Woodard. Butchek went to Auburn. Woodard is from Alabama. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That swung on, hit down the left field line, hit well. Gibson going back, Gibson near the track, and now Gibson on the track makes the catch near the wall, and there are 2 away. So 2 outs in the 7th, 5 out of 6 retired by Dunn. That will bring up Mike Edwards, the shortstop. Bobby Crosby missed a game last year, so Edwards filled in at short. But he said he hadn't played short for a long time, maybe since high school. But he played shortstop last year, filled in nicely in that role for Bobby Crosby. And now in there at short for the Rivercats. He may play a little shortstop for the Rivercats this year. Rouse is out, breaking ball misses away, and it's 0-1. Yeah, with Morrissey out as the 0-1 pitch. That swung on and hit into right field for a base hit. So Mike Edwards going the other way. He picks up his second hit of the ball game, and that will bring up the left fielder, Steve Stanley. Stanley with his first at bat of the ball game. Rivercats now have 7 hits. Yeah, with Morrissey out late in the game, if Castro goes to second, you'll see Edwards at short. That's what they did today. 9-2 Salt Lake, bottom of the 7th. Right-hander's pitch. That's taken high with a fastball. It's 1-0. Stingers 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and 5 in the 7th. The Rivercats with 2 in the 5th. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's chased and missed on a fastball, and it's 1-1. Glad you've joined us here. And with the Rivercats' 5th game of the homestand. 2-2 so far in the homestand. The 1-1 pitch. That's taken a little bit low. And the count is 2-1. I believe that's Derek Turnbow out there beginning to loosen up for Salt Lake. Yes, it is. Derek Turnbow. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's fouled back. 2-2. Well, Reinecker will not win his first game tonight. Rivercats will need a miracle to help John Reinecker avoid his 2nd loss of the season. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That swung on, fouled over the screen and amongst the crowd. And the count remains at 2-2 on Stanley. Stanley, left-handed hitter, his 3rd professional season. Edwards takes his lead at first. Quinlan now behind him as the pitch is reached for and fouled away to our left. And the count remains at 2-2 on Stanley. There's the 2-2 pitch. That swung on and bounced on the ground on 2 outs. Having trouble with it is Quinlan. He throws to the pitcher covering, though, as he sticks with it. And they get the 3rd out recorded in the 7th. So Quinlan never panicked, although he had trouble with it. But he was able to stick with it and feed the pitcher Dunn covering, and the inning is over. So Dunn, 2 shutout innings, no runs ahead, a man left. We're through 7. Salt Lake 9 and the River Cats 2. And we will have the top of the 8th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE presents
the Talk 650 Connection.
A safe way for singles to meet. Whether you're looking for a relationship or just want to have fun, you can choose from thousands of people like yourself.
Call 1-866-544-9229.
You'll be directed through personal ads and mailboxes to people with similar values and interests.
You'll meet only the people who interest you.
1-866-544-9229.
To open a free mailbox and hear voice ads from other singles.
1-866-544-9229.
For the Talk 650 Connection.
A member of the Telechat Network.
Nobody's talking like Talk 650. This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
Sure West Wireless called to the bullpen. Sure West Wireless, the lowest flat rate in town, with plans starting as low as $29 a month. So Matt O'Brien in there for the River Cats as he takes over for K-Mac. K-Mac went 1 inning. He allowed 2 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Issued 2 walks and struck out 2. And Steve Jackson will take over behind the plate. So Jackson in Rose's spot in the 6th slot. There's the left-hander Matt O'Brien, making his 4th appearance. 0-1. His ERA is exactly 9. In 5 innings, he allows 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. Issued 3 walks and struck out 3. The first pitch misses, and it's 1-0. We're in the top of the 8th inning, 9-2 Salt Lake. Brian Speck, the hitter. It'll be Speck, Riggs, and Ameziga. Riggs a triple away from the cycle. He has 11 total bases in this game, a single, a double, and 2 home runs. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That misses low and inside. Now 2-0. Speck struck out in the 2nd, bounced out to the 3rd baseman Edwards in the 4th and the 6th. Here's 2-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. The knees. It's 2-1. Now the tradition continues at Merlino's Freeze, and now in 5 locations throughout the Sacramento region. 3200 Folsom Boulevard, Downtown Plaza Mall, Country Club Plaza, Folsom Outlets, and Raley Field. Merlino's Freeze and River Cats baseball, the coolest ticket in town. There's a 2-1 pitch. That swung on and lifted to right center, playable. Coming up forward is Swisher, and Nick will make the catch, and there is 1 away. So 1 down in the 8th, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Adam Riggs. What a ball game for this guy. So Riggs, who came in hitting 200 against River Cat, pitching 3 for 15. He's now 7 for 19, hitting almost 400 against him. Riggs, a right-handed hitter. Here's a pitch from O'Brien. Breaking ball, missing low and inside. 1-0. 9-2 Salt Lake, top of the 8th. At the bottom of the 8th for the River Cats, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Johnson, Jackson, and Lockwood. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses. It's now 2-0. Matt O'Brien from the 3rd base side of the rubber looks in. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That misses low. It's now 3-0. So see if it's Turnbow to work the 8th. Dunn worked the 6th and the 7th. The 3-0 pitch, that's taken for a strike. 3-1. Center fielder Swisher shaded a little bit towards right center. The 3-1 pitch misses low and away, ball 4. So he loses Riggs, and that is the 6th walk issued by River Cat pitchers. That will bring up the shortstop, Alfredo Amezaga. Well, the Roseville Auto Mall is where you'll find the right vehicle at the right price with the right financing, no matter what your budget. 16 dealers, 21 brands, 1 location. Eureka Road off I-80. Amezaga batting from the right side. He's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice and a walk as O'Brien delivers low, and it's 1-0. So it's Johnson at first, Castro at second, Edwards at short, and Wilson at third. With Stanley at left, Swisher in center, and Lockwood in right. With the catching Jackson and O'Brien on the hill as Matt delivers high. It's now 2-0. So O'Brien having a little trouble throwing strikes here in the 8th inning. It's 2-0 on Amezaga with Quinlan waiting next. 2-0 pitch. That's swung on, line drive down the left field line, just foul, just by less than a foot. And it's 2-1 on Amezaga. Tomorrow a 7:05 start. We'll have the Heineken on deck at 7. It'll be Chris Bootcheck against Steve Woodard. Thursday night, Delvin James against Mike Ziegler. Friday night, Steve Green against Mike Wood. And the River Cats go to Salt Lake, where Joe Blanton will get the call in that first game against Heath Totten. Here's an check swing bouncer back to O'Brien. He has only one play. That's the first where he throws in time, and there are 2 away. So Amezaga tried to get the ball, get the bat out of the way of the ball, I should say, and could not. And it's a 1-3 put out. But Riggs takes second base, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Quinlan is 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. He scored in the 7th on the grand slam by Wesson. Quinlan, a right-handed batter. O'Brien checks second in the pitch. That swung on and bounced foul outside third. Wilson on a couple of hops. And the count is 0-1. The Office of Traffic Safety and the California Highway Patrol remind you to buckle up. Always wear your seatbelt. There's just too much to lose. Riggs has been on base 5 times. He takes his lead at second as Matt O'Brien taking too much time, and Quinlan calls time. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. It's bounced on the left side and through for a base hit. Brumley will wave home Riggs, and it gets by Stanley. Riggs will score going to second base. Quinlan, he will round second and dig for 3, and the throw to third base is cut off by Edwards. So give a single and an RBI to Quinlan, his 10th RBI, but the error charge to Stanley allowing Quinlan to go to third base. It's now 10-2 Salt Lake.
Third baseman number 26, Alex.
So that is the 3rd error for the River Cats. And here is Pelaez, the third baseman, who is 2 for 4 in the ball game. So the River Cats with 3 errors, and really there's 3 errors where just a lack of concentration. You had the Swisher drop fly ball as O'Brien delivers outside 1-0. Rose with the errant throw to third base after it was already a walk, and now the error on this little roller to Stanley. So the River Cats struggling defensively in this game. There's a 1-0 pitch. That swung on and hit into center field for a base hit. Quinlan will score. It's now 11-2 Salt Lake. So give Pelaez his 2nd RBI of the game. It is 10th of the year, and it's going from bad to worse for the River Cats. It's a 9-run deficit. And here's Barry Wesson, the center fielder. Tony DeFrancesco has got to be frustrated right now. Here's Wesson, who is 1 for 3 with a walk and a grand slam. O'Brien looks in. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. 11 runs, 12 hits, and no errors for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors for the River Cats. That's where we are in the 8th. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, chased and missed. It's 0-2 on Wesson. Matt O'Brien, take a little walk, rub up that baseball. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's taken low and away. Now 1-2 on Barry Wesson. Well, this game has been all Salt Lake. Rivercats did climb to within 1 on that 2-run homer by Kuntz in the 5th. There's the 1-2 pitch. That misses high, now 2-2. But Salt Lake scored a run on a gift in the 6th to make it 4-2. The grand slam by Weston made it 8-2. Excuse me, made it 9-2 after the Riggs home run. And now 2 more runs here in the 8th. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, it's foul back. Wesson hanging tough up there. The count remains at 2-2. Again, Johnson, Jackson, and Lockwood in the bottom half of the 8th. Rivercats trailing by 9 here in the 8th inning. Salt Lake has scored in every inning but the 2nd and the 4th. Now O'Brien looks in. Pelaez takes his lead. Now the 2-2 pitch. That's fouled away on the right side. That'll be a souvenir for somebody. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2-2 the count on Barry Wesson. Outfield straight away as O'Brien from the third base side of the rubber peers in. Pelaez from first, the 2-2 pitch. That's a busted bat bouncer back to O'Brien. He'll throw to first, and the inning is over. 1-3 on the putout, but the Salt Lake Stingers had 2 more. 2 runs, 2 hits, an error, and 1 left. We're through 7.5. Salt Lake 11, Sacramento 2. At the bottom of the 8th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Armstrong and Getty.
This is a good topic, too. I'm glad you called.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, what's on your mind? Lorraine, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, Lorraine.
Are you?
You called us.
Okay, all right.
Good Lord. Off to a fast start today.
About your boil, get some boilies and sit in some hot water.
Armstrong and Getty.
You'll be fine.
Little boilies and sit in some hot water.
Yeah.
There you go.
Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Good tip.
Okay, roll it.
There's a streak in all of us. You know what I'm saying? They're like shock dogs. Don't you understand?
Michael said.
Afternoons at 4.
I feel good. I'm giddy from it.
On Talk 650 KSTE. Talk with Armstrong and Getty, Michael Savage, Dr. Laura, and Glenn Beck.
Talk to us about the things that matter to you most. Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host. Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props. Doesn't matter because the conversation never stops. Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking.
I guess my concern is that
On the Talk Station, Talk 650. Talk 650.
Talk to us.
KSTE. The Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. To Sacramento Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. Rivercats Baseball is brought to you by Sure West Wireless. Sure West, the lowest flat rate in town. Plans start at $29 a month. Subway sandwiches. Subway, eat fresh. And by Brazil Paint and Wall Covering, the official paint company of the Sacramento Rivercats.
We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 11-2 Salt Lake lead. 11 runs, 12 hits for Salt Lake, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors for the Rivercats. Derek Turnbow takes over here for Salt Lake. Done working 2 shutout innings, so Derek Turnbow is the pitcher. Turnbow, no record, ERA of 4.05, making his 6th appearance, which is tops on the club. He's worked 6 2/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Issued 3 walks, he has struck out 2. So Derek Turnbow, the third pitcher of the ball game for Salt Lake. At the bottom of the 8th, Turnbow will face Johnson, Jackson, and Mike Lockwood. Will Paragary's Bar and Oven, Centro, Cocina Mexicana, the Blue Q, 3 great restaurants in Midtown to visit before or after a great Rivercats game. There's Dan Johnson to lead things off. Turnbow struggled against the Rivercats in that game on the 15th, 5 days ago. As the Rivercats got to him, Turnbow walked Stanley, walked Morrissey in the 8th inning and led it off. And then Edwards single, Johnson came through with a sacrifice fly. Turnbow's pitch, fastball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. 93 miles an hour with that first pitch. Turnbow throws very hard. And the Rivercats had 3 in the 8th off Turnbow in 2/3 of an inning. Derek's 0-1 pitch. That swung on and popped up. Foul territory, third base side. Pelaez has a little room. He's under it now, and he makes the catch, and there is one away. So one down, and that'll bring up the catcher, Steve Jackson.
Steve Jackson.
Here's Steve Jackson, a right-handed hitter. One out in the 8th inning, nobody on. Derek Turnbow looks in, the outfield straight away. Turnbow comes set, here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Still Quinlan at first, Specht at second, Amazing at short, and Pelaez at third with Gibson in left, Wesson in center, and Gordon in right. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's hit foul on the right side of the plate. 95 with that fastball from Turnbow. It's 0-2. So with the catching, Tom Gregorio and Derek Turnbow on the hill. To the count. Turnbow comes set. Another 0-2 pitch. Slider taken, strike 3 called. A great pitch. Down he goes. So Turnbow picks up his first strikeout. 2 outs in the 8th. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Mike Lockwood. Turnbow with Anaheim last year, 2-0, an ERA just over a half a run, 0.59, 11 appearances, 15 and 1/3 innings, 7 hits, and 1 earned run, 3 walks and 15 strikeouts. He was dominant with the big club. Spent all of 2000 with Anaheim. Lockwood, a left-handed hitter, as Turnbow comes set in the pitch. Fastball, that misses high, it's 1-0. Lockwood walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, was robbed by Brian Gordon in the 6th. Turnbow comes set, now the 1-0 pitch. That misses outside, and it's now 2-0 on Lockwood. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's taken a little bit low. Now 3-0. Turnbow's first year with Martinsville in 97. Came up in the Philly system. And the Angels got him in the Rule 5 Major League Draft, December of 99. Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Turnbow, 35 appearances with Salt Lake last year, 1-2 in the area of 5.73. 3-1 pitch. That swung on and bounced up the middle. Mays got to his left, gobbles it up, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. So 1-2-3 inning for Turnbow. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 8. Salt Lake 11 and the Rivercats 2. We'll have the top of the 9th after this on Talk 650 KST.
Talk 650 KSTE.
Hi, this is Frank Gorshin. I'm the Riddler from Batman. Gee, Wally, I gotta get going on account of the Armstrong and Getty show is on.
Prominently featured on the Armstrong and Getty show.
This is Al Lewis, Grandpa Munster.
It's our A-list of B-list celebrities.
This is Johnny Cochran. If they don't entertain, you must abstain. From the Armstrong and Getty show.
Hi, this is Chelsea Charms.
This is Bill Walton. Hi, I'm William Shatner.
Armstrong and Getty. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Borders, language, and culture.
He's not new. to big-time talk radio.
When they say to me, what do you really believe in with the Poor Revere Society in your show?
But he's taking over the nation.
Borders, language, and culture. They say, what does that mean?
The voice you can't ignore.
The Savage Nation.
And I tell them, close the borders.
Get rid of the illegal alien.
Make English the official language.
There's no assimilation here.
And recognize that the commonalities of our culture are what holds us together.
Michael Savage. The Savage Nation. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650. Channel radio station Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento.
All right, we go to the top of the ninth. It's an 11-2 Salt Lake lead as Matt O'Brien, the left-hander, comes to the plate. And the first pitch to Brian Gordon is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. 11-2 Salt Lake. 11 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Stingers. 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for the River Cats. Lefty versus lefty. Gordon is 1 for 3. As the pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1-1. So Salt Lake looking for their 6th consecutive victory, trying to make it 11 out of their first 13 ball games. I mean, this team has looked very good. They won the last game of the 4-game set against the River Cats, won 4 in Fresno, and trying to win this first one here in Sacramento. The 1-1 pitch, that swung on and lifted to left field. Coming up for it, Steve Stanley, and he will make the running catch about 15 feet inside that left field foul line, and there is one away. So 1 down in the ninth, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Derek Gibson. So here's Gibson. Derek is 1 for 4. He has struck out, bounced out, singled, and then bounced out again. Big right-handed hitter. 11-2 Sacramento trailing here in the ninth. Tomorrow night a 7:05 start. Hope to see you at the ballpark. The gates will open at 6. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0 on Gibson. Gibson, former Colorado Springs Sky Sox. As the pitch is swung on and lifted to left field, coming up for it, Stanley. He's under it now, and he makes the catch, and there are 2 away. So 2 outs in the top of the ninth, and that will bring up the catcher, Tom Gregorio.
Catcher number 15, Tom Gregorio.
Well, we will have a radio show coming up a week from Saturday, and I believe it will just be a half hour that first show in Tucson, but normally it will be a 1-hour show on Saturdays before the 7 o'clock games. So we will have that show on at 6 o'clock on Saturdays. Last 15 minutes you can call in as the pitch to Gregorio chased and missed 0-1. So we invite you to call in, have your River Cat questions, have your baseball questions ready. And we're also going to have interviews with some alumnus of the River Cats. The 0-1 pitch is taken low. It's 1-1. We'll have the River Cats Player of the Week. We have kind of a community relations part of the program where we talk with Tony Asaro, the head of the community relations program of the River Cats. Of all sorts of fun stuff. It'll be an hour show on Saturdays between 6 and 7. As the pitch from O'Brien is chased and missed. It's now 1-2 on Tom Gregorio. So we look forward to that show on Saturdays between 6 and 7 this year. 2 outs, nobody on. 11-2 Salt Lake. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That misses high. It's 2-2. Gregorio, a right-handed batter. Here's the pitch, 2-2. That's taken low and inside. Now 3-2 on Tom. In the bottom of the ninth for the River Cats, it'll be Castro, Wilson, and Menechino. 8, 9, and 1. Three-two pitch. That swung on a little flare down the right field line. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Rounding first, Gregorio. He'll hold there as Lockwood gets it in. A little bleeder down the right field line by Tom Gregorio, and that is the 13th hit for Salt Lake in the ball game. And that will bring up the second baseman, Ryan Speck. So here's Speck. The Salt Lake Stingers have had a hit in every inning but the second, where Reinecker struck out Gibson, Gregorio, and Speck back to back to back. 11 runs, 13 hits for Salt Lake, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors for Sacramento. That's where we are, top of the ninth. It's the pitch from O'Brien. That swung a little ground ball down to the second baseman Castro. It charges, gloves it, throws to first in time. The inning is over. 4-3 on the putout. No runs, hit a man left. We're through 8.5. Last chance for the River Cats. Salt Lake 11, Sacramento 2. At the bottom of the ninth after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
I really love being controlled by others.
Michael Savage.
It's one of the things I really specialize in, is having people with lower IQs than I telling me what to do, especially when I go to the bathroom.
Follows Dr. Lord.
I'm like a criminal's personality in many ways. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a bad person. I don't like to be told what to do. I have a very rebellious streak since birth.
Savage. Get it.
Doctor I'd like to kill who pulled me out, yanked me by the head. And ever since then,
Weekdays 4 to 7.
I've been fighting with the world.
On Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Sacramento River Cats Baseball, 2003 Pacific Coast League champions and AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Sacramento River Cats. It will be Ramon Castro, Tom Wilson, and Frank Menechino to face the right-hander Derek Turnbow. It's an 11-3 Salt Lake lead. Castro, the hitter. Castro has walked twice and flied out. He walked in the second, flied out to the right fielder Brian Gordon in the fourth, and he walked in the sixth. So a 9-run deficit for the River Cats. This is really the first game of the year. That's not true. As I said, the first game the River Cats have been blown out, but they lost 12-5 and 7-1 on back-to-back days against Edmonton. But this is their biggest deficit of the year of 9. So 9 runs down in the bottom half of the ninth inning. And Ramon Castro, right-handed hitter, will step up to the plate. Don't forget, tomorrow, 7:05 start, pitching matchup. A couple of folks with some Alabama connections. Chris Butchek will go against Steve Woodard. So Butchek and Woodard tomorrow, 7:05. Gates open at 6. Heineken on deck at 7. Thursday, 7:05 start. Right-hander Delvin James against right-hander Mike Ziegler. And Friday night, the conclusion of the 4-game series, Steve Green, the Canadian, against the Floridian, Mike Wood. So, bottom of the ninth, Ramon Castro, the batter. Here's the pitch from Turnbow. That goes all the way to the screen on a slider that got away, and it's 1-0. Game number 13 of the year. The River Cats in danger of falling to 5-8. Salt Lake trying to go to 11-2. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's taken low. Ball 2-0. Stay tuned after the ball game. We'll have the Sure West Wireless post-game show. 2-0 pitch. That's taken high. It's now 3-0. Unfortunately, we don't have any scores for you. This game being on a delay, so all the games played tonight. You know the scores right now because this game being played right now as you're listening to this. It's past 10 o'clock, so you have a lot of those scores. The 3-0 pitch taken for a strike, it's 3-1. But right now, as I'm talking to you, it's 2:25 p.m. Don't have those scores yet. The A's, though, with Rich Harden going tonight. Big start for Rich Harden as the 3-1 pitch. That's taken for a strike, 3-2. And not so much a big start, and if he doesn't do well, lose his job. That's not the case, just that for his confidence, he needs a good game. all the other PCL games tonight as well. So 3-2 pitch. That's swung on and popped up. A towering pop fly. Turnbow points, gets out of the way. Gordon and Amaziga. And Quinlan, it will be Amaziga, the shortstop, to make the catch, and there is one away. So one down in the ninth, and that will bring up the third baseman, Tom Wilson. There's Wilson with one out and nobody on. Turnbow has retired the first 4 Rivercats he has faced. That's kind of an abbreviated Sure West Wireless postgame show today. Wilson, a right-handed hitter at the plate. Salt Lake 2 outs away from victory. Derek, the high set, and the pitch. That fastball misses high, and it's 1-0. Frank Menachino waits next. Here's a pitch. That misses inside from Turnbow, and it's now 2-0. Rivercats in danger of losing their 4th out of 5 games to Salt Lake. There's a 2-0 pitch. That's taken low. It's now 3-0 on Wilson. Pitch. That misses inside, ball 4. So Wilson walks. That one just missed Wilson. 1 on, 1 out, and then I'll bring up the designated hitter, Frank Menachino. There's Menachino, who's 0 for 4. Has bounced out twice, flied out, and popped up. Menachino, a right-handed hitter. As Turnbow looks in, Amaziga and Speck. A double play depth. Turnbow to the plate in the pitch. Fastball. That misses. Oh, it got a piece of Menachino. It just did get him. So it nips Menachino. And now the Rivercats have runners on first and second with 1 out for Nick Swisher, the center fielder. That drives the manager nuts. 9 runs up, and Turnbow walks a guy and hits a batter. Here's Swisher. 2 for 3 with a walk. There's Swisher. A switch hitter batting from the left side. Swisher walked in the first, singled in the third, singled and scored in the 5th, flied out to the left fielder Gibson in the 7th. Menachino at first, Wilson at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. So 2 on with 1 out. 11-2 Salt Lake, bottom half of the 9th. Here's the pitch. That's chased and missed on a slider, and it's now 0-2 on Swisher. Rivercats have been unable to string together a couple of wins in a row. That has been the tough part. 0-2 pitch. That's taken low, 1-2. And the Rivercats, they have not done it yet. They have not won 2 consecutive games. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That misses inside, 2-2. Now 3 times they have lost 2 in a row. Turnbow checks second, and the right-hander's 2-2 pitch. That misses low and away. Ball 3, 3-2. So Turnbow once again struggling with his control. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Menachino at first, and Tom Wilson at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 11-2 Salt Lake here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Derek Turnbow checks second. Now the 3-2 pitch. That's swung on, hit down the left field line. It's slicing on Gibson, and it is out of play. The count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mike Edwards, who has 2 hits in this ball game, waits next. So Swisher, nice start to his season. Offensively, as Nick, with his 2 for 3 today, he has moved his average all the way up to 348. Turnbow comes set. He checks second in the 3-2 pitch. That swung on a bounce on the left side. Diving stop by Amazinga. Goes to second for 1. That's all they got. Outstanding play by the shortstop Amazinga. Diving to his right. Oh, is he something. 6-4 on the put out. And Aquino forced out at second. Wilson takes third. And the Rivercats are down to their final out. They have runners on first and third with 2 outs. And Mike Edwards, the shortstop, will be the batter. So Mike Edwards will be the hitter. Edwards 2 for 4. As the first pitch taken for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Edwards. On the year, hitting .261. Here's the pitch. That's taken for a strike. 0-2. Rivercats down to their final strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swisher at first. Tom Wilson at third. As Derek Turnbow from the first base side of the rubber comes set. And the 0-2 pitch. That's swung on a miss on a high fastball at 95. Down he goes. And the ball game is over. So Edwards strikes out. No runs, no hits. A walk hit batsman and 2 left. Final score. Salt Lake 11 and Sacramento 2. For Kevin Kelly, this is Johnny Dosco inviting you to stay tuned for the Sure West Wireless postgame show coming up after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Welcome to the program.
Therapy's expensive.
My husband and I have some friends. We've had them for about 6 years.
Dr. Laura?
My question is regarding, I'm trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing for our 20-year-old.
Free.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've got a problem with my neighbor.
Dr. Laura.
4 years ago, the wife divorced the husband.
But how do I say it without...
Find your own words,
Afternoons.
My question is...
Right before Savage.
You're here to teach him.
On Talk 650.
You're his dad.
KSTE. Sacramento's Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
To us about the things that matter to you most.
I just have a question about, what do you do in a case like that?
What is that that's inside that man that knows that?
Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host.
And he gave this sickening smirk.
Yeah.
Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props.
This is the greatest thing I've seen. I look at life differently.
Doesn't matter because the conversation never stops.
You know, have a reason to put a gun on him.
Armstrong and Getty.
I think they're still handling it with kid gloves and kind of brushing underneath the carpet.
Michael Savage.
Michael, what really happened on September 11th?
And even Dr. Laura.
And it made me so sick, and I just thought, you know, what a jerk. You know?
I don't understand. Is he blind?
I guess my concern is that...
Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. You've been listening to Sacramento Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. The Sacramento Rivercats, 2003 Pacific Coast League champions and AAA affiliates of the Oakland A's. Rivercats Baseball was brought to you by Heineken. It's all about the beer. The Golden One, California's leading credit union. Sacramento Coca-Cola, proud to be a founding corporate partner of the Sacramento Rivercats. SBC, going beyond the call. Chevron, no gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron. And by Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Miller, good call. Stay tuned for a complete scoring summary, analysis, and highlights of the game on the Rivercat Sure West Wireless Postgame Show. Next. Your place to talk with Armstrong and Getty. Dr. Laura, Michael Savage, and George Norrie late nights. Talk 650 KSTE. The Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Fellas, how you doing?
Up antenna.
Hi, you guys.
Switch on.
Love your show.
Easy to work.
Armstrong and Getty.
Press talk button and broadcast from room to room.
Live from Studio C.
And even house to house.
Why don't you get a cork or something? It's really good for your butt muscles. You know why I have such a nice ass? From years of clamping hard down tight.
The Armstrong and Getty Show. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento Rivercats baseball, and it's time for the Sure West Wireless Postgame Show. Sure West, the lowest flat rate in town. Plans start at $29 a month. Here again is the voice of the Rivercats, Johnny Dosco.
All right, well, Salt Lake wins this one by a final score of 11-2. Salt Lake has now taken 4 out of 5 against Sacramento. Totals in the ball game for the Salt Lake Stingers: 11 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. For the Sacramento Rivercats, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. The winning pitcher is Middlebrook. Jason now 1-0. The losing pitcher, John Reinecker, he falls to 0-2. How it happened after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
There's really nothing else like him on the radio anywhere. He's Michael Savage. This is a talk show you're going to want to listen to every afternoon, 4 to 7, only on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. Talk about it. Talk 650. This is Sacramento Rivercats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, back here at Raley Field, it was all Salt Lake tonight as Salt Lake wins it by a final score of 11-2. The Stingers got on the board in the first inning as they got a single from Riggs and a single from Amazinga, which moved Riggs to third. Then Quinlan bounced into the 6-4-3 double play, scoring Riggs, and they had a 1-0 lead off Reinecker. Reinecker allowed 6 runs in the first inning to Salt Lake 5 days ago, so just allowing the 1 run, a little damage control. After the double play, though, Pelaez doubled, Wesson walked, and then he was able to strike out Gordon in the to end the first. Well, Reinecker breezed through that second inning as he struck out Gibson, Gregorio, and Specht. So we had 4 consecutive strikeouts. We had a good ball game. We had a 1-0 game. In the top of the third inning, the Salt Lake Stingers would score a run. They got a double from Riggs. Amazing would sacrifice Riggs to third. Quinlan walked. Then Pelaez stepped up to the plate. He singled home Riggs, and that made it 2-0 Salt Lake. Meanwhile, Jason Middlebrook got a break in the second inning because of the bases loaded and 1 out. Mike Rose was picked off third base by Tom Gregorio, the catcher. So a snap throw to Pelaez. Pelaez, the third baseman, applying the tag on Rose, and that was a huge momentum swinger. We still had a 1-0 game. So as we told you, the single by Pelaez in the third made it 2-0. Salt Lake would add to that 2-0 lead in the fifth inning. Adam Riggs with a solo homer, his third hit of the night, as he did his second home run of the year and his fourth RBI, and that made it 3-0. Salt Lake. Well, the Rivercats came back, though, within one as Menachino would ground out. Swisher singled 1 out later. Graham Kuntz, in his return, he was the batter. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. A drive to right field, hit well. Going back is Gordon. Does the track. He's up the wall. And goal! Indeed, Graham Kuntz with a 2-run homer, and that made it a 3-2 ball game for Kuntz, his first home run of the year and his first regular season game of the year. Of course, he had the home run against the Colorado Rockies in the exhibition game on the 4th, but welcome back, Graham Kuntz. He was taken out of the ball game for precautionary measures, I believe, as it came out after 3 at-bats in that home run. So it was a 3-2 ball game. Salt Lake would get a break in the 6th inning, as with 1 out, Gordon was hit with the pitch. Gibson singled. Gregorio then walked, and then there was a throwing error. It was ball 4, but with the runners going on the pitch, Rose threw to third base anyway, even though really it was third base was Gordon's anyway. So the bases were loaded, but the problem was the throw from Rose got past Edwards and went down the line. So Rose had really no business throwing the ball, but he did anyway, and he got past Edwards and went all the way down the line. Well, Gordon scored. Gibson tried to score from second on the play. He was thrown out by Edwards, so it went 5-2 as Edwards threw out Gibson. So a little silver lining. They did get that second out, and finally the third out when Speck grounded out, but still no reason for that run to even score. So the errant throw from Rose, a mental mistake, and that made it 4-2 Salt Lake. Well, Salt Lake would bust it wide open in the 7th as they got a leadoff home run by Adam Riggs, and that made it 5-2. With Kamak in there, he would walk Amaziga, walk Quinlan, and then Pelaez hit a fly ball to the center fielder Swisher. Swisher moving over to his right, dropped it. Actually, I thought he lost it in the transfer from glove hand to throwing hand, but not much of an argument from Tony DeFrancesco. So Swisher dropped the ball to load the bases. That brought Barry Wesson to the plate, and Wesson unloaded a grand slam off Kamak, his second home run of the year. RBIs 8, 9, 10, and 11, and they busted the game wide open. It was 9-2. In the 8th inning off O'Brien, they got a 1-out walk to Riggs. 1 out later, Quinlan singled home Riggs, but it went all the way to third base on the error by Stanley. So Stanley with the error, so Quinlan would go all the way to third. Then Pelaez would single home Quinlan, and that made it an 11-2 game, and that's where we ended 11-2. It was all Salt Lake, and give Dunn and Turnbow credit for shutting down the Rivercats. Middlebrook battled through 5 innings, but he ended up qualifying for the victory as he's now 1-0. 11-2 the final. We'll have the pitching lines and wrap this one up soon. We'll have more after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael Savage.
You're all afraid of your children.
The voice you can't ignore.
If the kid comes home with baggy jeans, burn them.
The Savage Nation.
How cute. He's wearing baggy jeans. He looks like a little crack runner.
Savage.
And listen to the nice music he's listening to, Martha. I'm going to kill white boys and hang them by the neck. I'm going to break their back, I'm going to call a crack. I'm going to break their neck, I'm going to hit that hole. Take that hole and break a nose. Idiots, white punks with pimples on marijuana.
Come on. Got it yet? Michael Savage, 4 to 7 on Talk 650. KSTE. Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE. Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE. Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, pitching lines in this baseball game. John Reidiker, 6 innings. He allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He issued 3 walks and struck out 4. Eric Kamak, 1 inning. He allowed 2 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Matt O'Brien, 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk and no strikeouts. For the Salt Lake Stingers, Jason Middlebrook, 5 innings of 6-hit baseball. He allowed 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks and 1 strikeout. Dunn went 2 innings. He allowed 1 hit and he walked 1. And Turnbow, 2 innings, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Attendance 7,827, almost a 3-hour baseball game. The River Cats lose this one. Salt Lake looking mighty tough. Salt Lake has won 11 of their first 13 ball games. The River Cats fall to 5-8 on the years, hoping to get some help as Tucson Sidewinders are playing against the Portland Beavers in the first game of a 4-game set. They'll make up that game against Tacoma later on. River Cats looking for some help with the Portland Beavers. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 53 minutes. So we said the attendance 7,827. We'll have concluding comments and tell you what's on tap for tomorrow night after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Back to school, we take you for those good old lessons of social engineering with your tutor, Dr. Laura.
Don't blame it all on me.
Your resource for all your domestic management needs.
It's not simplistic, it's clarity.
And don't forget the household tips.
Catch more flies with honey.
Yeah, I know, I've heard that one.
It's homespun fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I don't want to be held accountable for that.
Your daily dose of higher learning.
Hope you're taking notes, Teresa.
The Dr. Laura Show, Monday through Saturday, 9 till noon on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
I love it.
You'll know it when you hear it. Sacramento's Talk Station.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
The world is a dangerous place.
There are several trains that have been exploded to bits.
And it just got a lot more dangerous.
A nation can survive its fools.
Michael Savage.
But it cannot survive treason from within.
He'll help you make sense of it all.
The traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to the victims. And he wears their face in their arguments.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
Now Salt Lake wins this one by a final score of 11-2. Middlebrook going 5 innings, Dunn 2 and Turnbow 2. They did not blow the lead that they did 5 days ago. Salt Lake, as we said, they are 11-2 now on the year. And if Fresno beats Edmonton, Edmonton would be 3 games back. Fresno 1-11 on the year. The Rivercats fall to 5-8. So if Las Vegas can win their game tonight, they're at Tacoma. Rivercats will be in third place alone again. Rivercats are now 4 games back in the South Division. And depending on what Tucson does, they'll either remain 3.5 back or go to 4.5 back. Tucson, as we said, is at Portland. Tomorrow night, a 7:05 start. We'll have Heineken on deck at 7. It'll be Chris Buchek out of Auburn for the Salt Lake Stingers. He's 0-1, or 1-1 rather, an ERA of 7. He'll be opposed by right-hander Steve Woodard, the Alabaman, who's 2-0, an ERA of 3.09. So a couple of good right-handers will go at it tomorrow. Again, 7 o'clock, Heineken on deck, 7:05 first pitch. It'll be Heineken Rivercats Idle Night at the ballpark. Game 2 of the 4-game set, Game 6 of the 8-game homestand. Well, I hope you enjoyed the ball game. I know you did not enjoy the result if you're a Rivercat fan, but we'll try to get them tomorrow night. For my engineer Kevin Kelly, this is Johnny Dosco bidding you farewell from Raley Field in West Sacramento, where Salt Lake defeats the Rivercats 11-2. For Kevin, this is Johnny. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to the Sacramento Rivercats Sure West Wireless Postgame Show. Sure West, the lowest flat rate in town. Plans start at $29 a month. The Sacramento Rivercats. 2003 Pacific Coast League champion and AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's. Join us next time for more exciting Rivercats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.